How we doing, folks? Welcome back to Bru Time. So, for you long-term listeners, it's great to be back. Thank you so much for all the support that you've been sending me over the last sort of 6 months or so. I needed that time. Just things were coming on top. I had to sort of clear the decks a little bit, but I have missed this so much. And I've recorded this first chat with Chris Eades, Baron Von Grumble, and I needed that. I really needed that. It's a cracking conversation. I hope you enjoy. So, for the new listener, what is Bru Time? I describe Bru Time as a relaxed conversation podcast exploring what it really means to live your life through honest conversations with people who choose more. What does that mean? Have a listen and find out. But first, we need to do some sponsor readouts. Now we've got a new sponsor to kick things off, Conqueror's Motorcycle Apparel. If you've been on tour with me, you'll know all about them. So this podcast is powered by Conqueror's Motorcycle Apparel, a biker's clothing shop built by bikers, run by bikers, for people who actually ride. No corporate nonsense, no guessing games, just riders who know their kit inside and out. Walk through the door or jump online and you'll get nothing but 5-star service. The kind where someone actually listens, knows the gear, and won't flog you rubbish just to make a sale. For an independent shop, the range punches well above its weight: helmets, riding gear, casual wear, and the bits you didn't know you needed until a proper biker pointed them out. And if you're shopping online, here's the kicker: use Fisters10. Yes, Fisters10 at checkout for 10% off, because good gear should come with a bit of respect. Conqueror's Motorcycle Apparel, built by bikers, backing bikers. You can check out their website at conquerorsapparel.co.uk, or if you're down near St Leonard's on the south coast of England, pop along to the shop, stick your head in and say hello. As always, a huge shout out to all of you over in the clan, over on Patreon, patreon.com/TeapotOne. I keep saying this, folks, but literally I could not do this without your support. The YouTube millions certainly are avoiding me. So with people like you over in the clan, my tours, this podcast, merch, everything like that, that's what allows me to keep a roof over our heads. And we've built a pretty special little community there in the clan. We do rides throughout the year. We do some live streams. There's meetups. Check it out. Patreon.com/TeapotOne. See if it's your thing. You also get early access to my chicken strips tours, and you get first preference for the questions in this podcast. So thank you very much to all of you that get involved there. As always, if you're enjoying the podcast, tell a mate. Just tell them about it, share it, liking, subscribing, commenting, whether it's on the socials, the YouTube vids, or on the podcast platform, wherever it is that you listen. That really does have such a positive impact now on the algorithms and all these different platforms. That is what they respond to. So if you're enjoying it, please just engage, give us a comment, a like, a share. Let people know about Bru Time. Right, enough of that. Let's crack on with the chat.
A little handy thing about these DJI mics is you can just record straight onto it. It's got a little internal memory, just in case you didn't know.
Perfect. 32-bit float. Is that right? Is that what they call it?
Some kind of floater, I don't really know.
Right, mate, do you have you all right just cracking on? Just getting straight into this?
Yeah, straight into it.
Lovely
Love
job.
it.
Beautiful. Right, folks, Chris Eades, the Baron Von Grumble is back in the house.
Good evening. Good evening.
Good evening.
How are we doing? I've got my little log burner. There's a very wintry scene.
Looks very, very cosy there. The flowers at the back as well. You shouldn't have. It's very nice of you.
Well, yes. Yeah. My girlfriend's recently moved in with me, so now the house is smelling fragrance.
Cushions, curtains.
There's way less skid marks in the loo. Like we're disinfected. So that's great.
Sadly, we all have to grow up eventually, don't we? But,
we do.
Well,
and everyone loves a skid mark, let's be honest. So tonight, so you said bring a tipple. I've reawakened my love for Baileys this Christmas.
Oh, good night.
Yeah, I've probably drunk about 18 pints of this over the last few days, a few weeks over Christmas period, and this is another feature. My mum decided to buy me the worst wine glasses you have ever seen. And not only are they just really heavy and impractical, they fall over, they're a disaster. But I thought it could be entertaining to to use my mother's glasses while
Excellent.
we fill with
Good
ice.
work, Mother Grumble.
Linda.
Mother Grumble?
It was her 79th birthday at the weekend, actually. So happy birthday, Linda.
Happy birthday, Linda. I've just gone straight back to the old faithful Brew Dogs. Not sponsored. But if you want to send me any in Amazon, feel free. Slange. Here's to your health.
Cheers, mate. Good to see you.
And you. Here's to the year ahead.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Beautiful. Right, we're back in the house. Beautiful. Right, so this is my first one back. Well, I did one about 3 weeks ago, but it was more of a live, really, with Cy Weir for chicken strips. But this is my first sort of brew time back now after about a 6-month break, I think. So I might be a bit rusty. We'll see. We'll see how we do.
We'll be fine. I can guide you through it, Bruce. We'll be all good.
Thanks. Right, not that there's going to be anybody out there who doesn't know who either you or Baron Von Grumble are. But can I open up the floor to you and go, Chris, who are you? And what you do?
Who am I?
Who are you?
That's
just nice, easy one to start with.
I guess, yeah. So I started, it's got to be, 15 years ago now, 14 years ago. I put a action camera on my helmet and rode into London and recorded the antics on YouTube. And kind of grew a channel around that, Baron Von Grumble. I tended to moan quite a lot in a humorous way. I tried not to be too whiny. And then set up 44 Teeth, which is a motorcycle journalist company. So probably best job in the world, travel around, riding all the latest bikes, doing all the good fun stuff. And still trying to make it work properly. But it's all good. It's fine.
Do you still have those moments where you think, this is my job? Is this... I'm like that constantly. Like, is this... I kind of almost have to remind myself, no, this is your job now. This is what you do. And I'm like, but is it? It doesn't feel like it's right. It doesn't feel like it should be my job.
You feel a bit you feel guilty, don't you?
Yeah.
There's a strange moment ago, and I especially get it because I still do the day job, which is like graphic design and things like that. I've still got various clients because the motorcycle industry, as you may know, doesn't have a massive amount of money in it. And I ran a production company in London for many years, and that's kind of still really what pays the bills a bit. So I feel extra guilty when I'm swanning around on a motorbike, thinking, "Oh God, I need to send that client that deck marketing proposal," and I'm like, "Oh God, okay." So, but yeah, you do get exactly. Let's hurry up. There is a strange. I did a podcast with Neevesy actually, and he described it as imposter syndrome. You feel like you don't really belong, but then everyone feels the same, and you realise that everyone's in the same boat, and everyone kind of feels those things. So I tend not to dwell on it too much.
It's interesting that you say there that even though you have this massive juggernaut of 44 Teeth behind you, which is, as an outsider, if you like, watching it, 44 Teeth just looks like this world conquering brand. And then for you to turn around and go, well, actually, my day job still pays the bills, really? It's kind of, I'm not saying you're on the breadline or anything like that. It's just, for me, people always say to me, oh, well, YouTube millionaire. And I'm just like, you got no idea. I don't create the content that gets massive views. My stuff is just tour stuff, basically, because this does pay the bills. Chicken Strips, my tour company with Cy, that pretty much has taken over, and that keeps a roof over my head, that and my Patreon. YouTube is like, if I'm away on the bike for the month, it doesn't pay it doesn't pay the fuel bill. So it's like, it kind of still is this hobby for me. But it's something that I run alongside, say, Chicken Strips as a marketing vehicle for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's a lot of people that I speak to, especially ones who want to get into this motovlogging, sphere on YouTube. I think a lot of people seem to think you can make good money, you can do well, but there's it's few and far between, isn't it, for the people that are out there who are actually making some good coin.
It is, and I think you've got to make a choice. You have to make a choice whether you're in it for the money or you're in it to enjoy what you do. Well, that's a bit of a binary choice. There's obviously a balance, as you know and I know. But there are people out there who will just sell the products. They will work. They're very good business heads. They just want to sell it, get that money going, do all that stuff. And it's fine. Don't really have a problem with that. I understand there's all people, walks of life. But you run the risk of destroying what you have, for example, which is dedicated fans on Patreon who are who just want to support you because they love what you do. Yeah. Those people who just want to go bing, 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 I did an integration with these people and that people, and whoever gives me some stuff and dedicates their business, if you like, to the more financial side. I think they'll struggle when it comes to retaining viewers that actually care about them. I'm super fortunate that over the years, there's been I built up a really, really reliable, lovely group of people who just want to help me. And that in itself is incredible. So it's really difficult to then turn around and go, yeah, it'd be great to make some more money and try and throw a load of stuff down their throats, which it's so, I still struggle. I still struggle with, Bailey is the choice of champions. I still struggle with it. And by the way, Bailey's has just given me $5,000 for that. But there's something uncomfortable about it, isn't there? Because there's an online persona, whoever you are, whether in motorbikes or whatever, you can't. I kind of feel like one has a responsibility to be genuine as possible, but. Even saying that, the true fans are like, sure, if as long as you're not selling bad products, go for it. Because if you make money, then you're going to be here for longer and you can make more content, which I enjoy. So it is just a balancing act. And I think YouTube there's some, I don't know about what you've been experiencing recently, but there's been some weird like algorithmic changes, as there always is. There's no one around to help you. It's not like you can just pick up the phone and go, "Oh, YouTube, yeah, can you help us with this?" It's like, phone's gone dead, and they take. I think YouTube takes 50% of our YouTube revenue, and actually that's quite a lot of money. And if I had a client that gave me that much money, I'd at least have some sort of point of contact, which would be like, let's look after these people. But it's such a big sphere. And sadly, what I see with YouTube now, it's just a race to this TikTok doom scrolling, all their shorts and stuff. And it's things that just pop up and you go, what is that? I've got no idea what it is. And the long form content is suffering because it's not really what YouTube want to promote that much. So there's lots of difficult things. I don't know if you've experienced the same.
I mean, my channel pretty much just nosedived. Well, it didn't even nosedive. It just stopped about March, April time. I think it was last year or the year before. I went from like a regular 1,000, 2,000 subs a month, just continual growth that I've had over the last 10, 15 years. Well, not actually, since about 2016. And it just plummeted. And I was getting like 10, 20 subs a month. It was just... And the views just disappeared. And the content didn't change. It was the same content. It just stopped. And I was like, oh, what's going on here? And it's not really recovered, to be honest. It's really hard over certainly the last year, I would say, for sure. You're saying about the long form content. Now, what I'm seeing on some of I don't really watch that much bike content to be honest on YouTube. I like the techie stuff. Do you know iPhone? Do you follow him? I think he's Hungarian or Turkish.
Is it like cheese fondues?
No, he's a techie guy. Really like he's Hungarian or Turkish, but lives over in LA. But he does a lot of tech stuff. God. People like Peter McKinnon, all those sort of channels. That's the sort of channel, Casey Neistat, that sort of stuff. They're the ones that I like. And
is he still going?
Casey does the odd one. Yeah, I mean, it's like one a month. He just drops
He
one a
was the
month in.
enigma, wasn't he? He just suddenly came out of not nowhere. He'd been doing it, but suddenly it exploded and was everywhere. And everyone was like, I want to do that as a job.
Yeah.
And the just not to put a depressing point on things, but any youngsters out there watching thinking, oh, I can just do that and become that'll be my job. Like the skill, definitely skill, and luck involved in him getting to where he did is, it's a hard thing to achieve.
Yeah. And it was YouTube back in 2015, I think he started the everyday vlogging.
Yeah,
absolutely. There wasn't the market or the competition that there certainly is now. But Casey Neistat, anyone that's not aware, Casey he popularized the vlogging style because he decided that he was going to create a video every single day of his life. No matter what he was doing, he would create one video, and they were between like 6 to 8 minutes long. So they were just like the perfect binge length content, and they were amazing.
New York City, he was a cool dude. New York City, he used to skateboard everywhere and do cool stuff. So he was on like the one wheel and all that sort of stuff, and had drones when they just weren't what they are now. Nobody had drones really back then. Yeah, he was a filmmaker as well. So he had the technical ability to make it all look good as well. Yeah.
Yeah, he brought in all these Hollywood techniques and filming styles, and it was just amazing. And he just blew up. He did it for 5 years, didn't he? One a day for 5 years. The guy was getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning, going to bed at 1, 2 in the morning for 5 years. It was incredible. But I love that sort of content. But even now, if you watch, even though he has this massive subscriber base, even look at his views for his stuff. Whereas there used to be millions, now they're in the hundreds of thousands, which is still amazing. But it's weird how it's all changed.
And there's nothing we can do about it particularly. It's just a worrying trend. I mean, I think what the only thing you can do as a content creator is just be aware of how looking after your dedicated fan base and trying to give them somewhere else to go, whether that's on like a Vimeo thing. Like we've got a 44teeth.tv where we put our budget by battles and stuff up. There's a paid for thing. You can watch it for like, £3 or something. And that really helps. So it's kind of, I think, again, and I'm sure, as you know, as a social media type person, you've got to be on top of all these little areas. There's not one area that goes, bing, this is where it's all at. It's like, I've got to do a bit of that, I've got to do a bit of that, I've got to do that. And over time, it sort of adds up into a livable amount of revenue, I suppose.
Yeah. Multiple income streams.
Multiple income streams.
Yes, hello.
Anyway, let's talk about motorbikes.
Yeah, definitely. I tell you what, I'm going to try a new little angle, said the vicar to the nun.
Okay.
I use ChatGTP to give me a little bit of help with because this is like a relaunch, if you like, for the podcast. So I was chatting away with ChatGTP and asked it about a relaunch, and it's come up with a first question, like a tagline, something which I should use in every single episode.
Okay.
So shall we kick it off with this question?
Let's do it.
Okay. I describe Bru Time as a relaxed conversation podcast exploring what it really means to live your life through honest conversations with people who choose more. When you hear that, what does choosing more mean to you?
I take it you're asking me, not the audience.
Yes, this is for you.
This is for me. I'm on the podcast. Right. Choosing more. I would say choosing. There's a profound answer knocking around in the back of this brain somewhere. I think choosing more is choosing to be true to yourself, and almost in a strange way, choosing less. Like, I think choose more of what you like, choose more of what you want to do, choose more of where you want to be, and see the person in 5 years' time in front of you. Choose to do more actions that will get you to that person, I think. And whatever that is, it might be some weird, obscure hobby that no one else likes, but choose to do it more because that's what you like and that's what brings you joy. I think I would reply like that.
I'm going to jump in with both feet here. I was going to wait for the deep sort of questions as we develop and have more to drink, but that leads me nicely on, really. That video you did about the psychedelic experience that you had with psilocybin, and you talk about this in that video where it's giving you a different mindset and a different thought direction in life as to what you think life's about and what's going to make you happy. And that sounds very much like what you said in that piece, in that, you know, do the things that make you happy, basically. And you've reappraised what I was going to say think, but probably know what makes you happy in life. Is that fair to say?
Totally. I mean, let's get into it. My life has changed so much in the last year. And in fact, it was probably, I think it was pretty much a year ago today, maybe a year ago tomorrow, something like that I actually did this. It's called PAT, which is called psychedelic assisted therapy. And it's basically a high dose of psilocybin, which is the active ingredient in magic mushrooms. But it's in a medical type environment with therapists there and all this sort of stuff. In the Netherlands, it's all totally legal. Which here it's not, and it's a crime. Actually, it makes me so sad that it's not allowed. Like even to be fair, there are some London University hospitals doing trials. So hopefully, fingers crossed. But and again, before I go any further, it's not right for everyone. And this isn't me championing this in any way. Like go and do this stuff. It just works for me, and I'm telling you my experience of it. And make sure you do your own research, and there's loads of stuff going on, and you got to figure out. But for me, a high dose of psilocybin, and it basically it kind of killed my old brain. It just turned off. It awakened so much stuff in me. And I mean, if you watch that video, I mean, maybe you can put it as a link somewhere.
Will do, yeah.
I go through it in quite a lot of detail, so I won't bore you with it here because I'm sure some people have already heard it. But just the whole process in coming to terms with actually what you really want, and how you get to look back at yourself and go, that's not who I am. That's not how this works. This isn't who I am. This isn't what I want to be. And it was a moment in my life which I'd almost been lost for felt like a decade. And it's the difference now. The difference now in my life, and by the way, I still have shit days. I had a pretty shit day today, actually, but it's a different way of coping with it. And I just go, I'm so much more aware of, I know this sounds really hippie and stuff, but I'm so much more aware of what the universal field, the universe has in store for me. And I'm so much more open to it. And if you're having a shit day, let it be. Like, there's nothing you can do about it. Like, we all try our best as human beings to tackle with a ragey traffic jam or a shitty email or a letter from HMRC. It happens every day. But the way you approach it is, well, this is my task for the day, and I'm going to do the best I can. And it's, opening up my experience of life has changed it so much. And a good example is, I used to wake up in the morning and think, oh my God, who have I got to meet today? What have I got to do? Oh God. Whereas, after that experience, I was waking up going, oh wow, who am I going to meet today? It's a video game. Like, life is a video game. Like, it's a game, and you can play it miserably, or you can see what it's got in store for you. And I think it took away the seriousness of life and the pressure to a point where I just opened up. And it sounds a bit hippie again, but my heart opened up. And since doing it, like, I was pretty miserable. Went from serial bad relationship to bad relationship. Could never really find a place of peace. And I met an amazing girl about 6 months ago, and within 3 months, we're like, I think we should move in together. Let's start our lives together. We bought a camper van. We're going to do a load of traveling next year around Europe. And here I am now, 12 months later, because I let the universe happen to me rather than trying to put it in my stupid little box that I didn't really belong in because I thought I was this person. It's called ego death if you're into this sort of stuff. You think you're this person that you build up. Oh, I'm Bruce and I do this and I do that. But you go through an experience like this and you realize actually that you maybe not be that person and you don't have much control over anything. So you've just got to stop swimming upstream sometimes and just go with the flow of it. And since I've done that, my life's just been like immeasurably better. And it's a wonderful experience.
Dude, you can see it. It is like a massive weight has been taken off of your shoulders. You just, I mean, we don't know each other overly well. We don't socialize every day or talk every day on the phone.
How dare you?
Oh, well, I know, but I mean, like literally, we might speak once or twice a year.
Yes.
But even in that sort of limited contact that we've had, you now to me look like somebody who is just at peace with life. It is at peace with himself. Before you kind of, you've always been this positive guy. You've always portrayed this positive image, but you've always been very open about the issues that you were going through, and bad times as well as the good. And I think maybe because of that, it kind of felt always, when you were really positive and I'm putting on this happy face, it's like, is that just masking what's going on underneath? And obviously it was. Totally. And now, I mean, you just, not only do you seem lighter, you look lighter. You've lost weight. You can see. You look healthy.
And again, I mean, I don't know where, they should put that in the advertising brochure because I must have lost 15 kilos, 10 kilos.
Jesus.
And I think and nothing really has particularly changed. I do advocate, though, a morning walk. I still do it. I was out this morning, pitch black, head torch on, plodding along through the fields. But it's my routine, and an hour a day, morning walk. Like even if you're not trying, I never did it to lose weight, but that's my time, and I can process my thoughts there, and I can listen to the birds, and I can watch the sun come up if there is any sun in this country. And I can, just sort of process a few things in my life. So a morning walk is very good. But yeah, the weight loss thing, I think it's because I'm not gripping onto life so hard and I'm just more relaxed. My body is it's almost detoxing all of the shit, like all of the stuff that you hold on to. And I just feel like a much freer person. I think I will caveat, I'm not, it's not every day I live in a utopia. That never happens. But when you come to the realization that I always used to be a person that go, oh, when I get this done, it'll be okay. When I get to this goal, it'll stop. When I sort those problems out, I'll be happy. But
Jesus, that's me.
But you come to a realization, and this may be, it's both sad but relieving as well, is that you come to the realization that there is always another problem. Like you'll never get to the end of your to-do list. It's never going to happen. Like everyone watching, your to-do list is never going to end. So approach your list today with lightness and joy, because it's never going to end. There's always another one. You complete a task, another task comes in. And when you're ready to experience more, the universe will bring you more things to do. And if you haven't learned a lesson, it just keeps throwing it back in your face until you learn it. So, yeah, I'm not a changed person. I think I'm still the same person, but I just think I'm just a much better version of me than I was. I still moan, still have a silly laugh or whatever, and do bits of silly stuff. But I think it changed me fundamentally, and all I can say is that my life is immeasurably better now and it's a year later than it was before. So it's got to be something
awesome
in it. And I think we should try and get it. I don't know how you'd even tackle asking the government to research these things and actually allow people to do it. But the fact that something that grows in the field out there is classed as a dangerous, illegal drug is a very sad thing, really. And again, I think people for the human race for millennia has been using natural remedies to help people and do things, and it just it feels that all the natural stuff in the world is being quashed, and there's so much benefit to it.
Yeah, and I mean, when you look at a lot of the medicines out there, a lot of the time they're like synthetic versions of the natural remedy anyway, purely because that then allows some company out there to profit from it, rather than just going it's
down
out
a
there.
Conspiracy theory rabbit hole there, Mr.
I tell you what, the me from I would say before traveling, certainly before traveling, that me then, that copper me before then. Right is right, wrong is wrong. There's a definite line between the two things. There's reasons there's law out there, and there's reasons the way things are, and just fucking stick to it. And you're wrong if you step outside. That was the way I was.
Yeah.
Very cut and dried on everything.
It was easy to be like that, right? Because there was a set of rules in front of you. Because you couldn't have told yourself then, by the way, there's a massive, a conspiracy going on and it's a load of shit. You'd just been like, shut up. Of course the government wants us to be happy and be healthy. Yeah. Well, I think after COVID, I think we could all agree that that's perhaps not as straightforward.
And I think now we're well aware that mainstream news is nothing but a tabloid. The mainstream news is just a red top. It's just the Sun, and it's paid for by the people that want you to think a certain way. That is just the way it works, isn't it? Now we have access to millions of that. Like millions, I'm not saying some of these
thoughts, that you can make your own mind up. As an 100%. Individual, you're not stupid. Yeah. And it's so patronizing. It's like, the government and the mainstream media is like, no, we can't tell people certain things because it will scare them, or it'll do this or do that. We need to just let people make their own minds up. Yeah. And I think that's
100%.
And I think you can feel the resentment now. I mean, there's definitely a lot of pain going on now, particularly in the UK. It feels like it's probably one of the most miserable places on earth, isn't it, at the moment? It just feels just oppressive. Like, I mean, I'm certainly planning to leave. And I know many other people who are as well, because I just can't. It's just too difficult. It's too difficult and it's too miserable, and the weather's not good enough to make you stay. So,
I think I would probably have left if not be making moves to leave. But Nikki, my wife, she's not up for leaving. So, we'll be staying put. But I totally get why people want to go, 100%. But then there's part of me that goes, I think there's a fight coming, and I kind of feel like, right, well, I need to play my part and be here for that fight when it comes. Yeah. Whatever way that comes.
There is a fight coming. I mean, this feels like someone like a Russell Brand podcast about conspiracy, but I think there is a fight coming, and I think that people are just at the point now where they're getting brave enough to go, do you know what? I'm so tired. Like, as a business owner, I don't know how your company's set up or whatever, or if it is a company, whatever, but it's the loops you've got to jump through and the things you've got to do and the taxes and the GDPR things and the HMO. You're just like, do you know what? And at the end of the day, you work so hard to try and, I've had many businesses in my life and paid many people, employed people, paid taxes, done everything right, done everything as best as I can. And I just feel so let down and I feel so mistreated. And where is all of this money going? And I think people are just like, you know what? Can't deal with it. And there's loads of stuff about business rates at the moment with like pub landlords, like it's going up 300%. Because online speech is absolutely being throttled and curtailed. We got. I think, again, spewing spurious informations out here, but I think the UK is one of the top countries in the world that has got people in prison for things that they said. Yep. More so than China. I mean, there's probably more in China, but more so than the data that they release. It's it's good 13,000 people, I think.
It's insane, isn't it?
And you're just
absolutely insane.
What is going on? And then I'll speak to my mum about it, and she'll be like, "Oh, don't be silly, darling. Don't be silly." Yeah. Because yourself 10 years ago would say the same thing. Don't be ridiculous. Don't be ridiculous. Yeah. They probably did something wrong. Whereas now I think so many people down the pub, which they're trying to close, are talking, going, we need to revolutionise. And I think there is a fight coming.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's. I don't know if I. There comes a point where you just got to look after yourself, I think, and your family, and go, well, do the right thing, whatever that is for you. Stay, go, whatever. That's your choice to make, and it should be your choice, individual freedom, to be able to choose those things.
I'm into that, brother. Totally agree with you.
But I think whatever happens, it's going to be positive. Let's put it that way, because everyone's miserable, so something's got to change.
Yeah, I mean, there's just no getting away from it, is there? There's nobody you speak to, whether they're your mates or people down the pub, or like you jump, you do the old jump in a taxi cab and chat. It's probably the worst thing you could probably do is talk to a taxi driver. But do you know what I mean? You talk to random people, strangers, about stuff. Everyone's feeling the same way.
Yeah,
everyone's just feeling like, what is going on in this country at the moment? And that's people from every background, immigrants that have come over and are working here. Everybody feels the same way. It's just like, what is going on in this country? It's insane. That's got to speak volumes. Anyway, that's politics. Let's push that to the side.
Yeah, let's not do that. God,
yeah.
I've learned that lesson. Well, I haven't, obviously, so I'm talking about politics.
But I think you do need to talk about stuff like this, and we'll just hang on to this for 2 seconds longer. This tightening down on free speech, I think, is a really dangerous thing to do. I think we should have freedom of speech to say anything. You should be allowed to say anything, no matter how repugnant, no matter how despicable, disgusting. People should have that right to say whatever they like, because that is how you find out about people, is by listening to what they're saying, and from and that, what they end up doing.
Don't listen to them. And there are rules against speech. There are laws against speech already, which have been perfectly adequate for the last X amount of years. Like,
exactly,
it's fine. It's fine.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
There seems to be
you shouldn't be allowed to incite riot, but again, they'll twist that to a certain extent.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be out preach hate, but again, this is the problem, because what do you define as hate? And they're changing all that now. So it's it's a difficult one, isn't it? It really is a difficult one. Just as you said, you should be allowed to say what you like. If you don't agree with it, don't listen to it. It's fine. Or debate it. Debate it.
Debate is the best. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Not argue, stand there and shout and roar at each other. Debate. But people turn around and shoot you for that. Anyway, let's not do politics.
No.
Shall we do questions on Patreon?
Go on, let's do some questions. Go on.
Right, excellent. So obviously, my lot over on the clan. Here we go. First one, Peter Hamzadeh. Great to see you back. Looking forward to this one. I'm sure there will be loads of bike questions. So as someone trying to run a business, business in the biking sphere, doing what I love, I'd be really interested to hear your take. Question. Running your own business is hard, and trying to find different revenue streams difficult. How do you both prioritize what to push next, and how do you allocate time between the various parts of the business? Do you get people to help, or do it yourself? That's the first question.
Well, interestingly, we've almost touched on quite a lot of those subjects already. It is hard. So first of all, well done for even trying, because a lot of people don't try. How do you prioritize? I mean, you've got to prioritize where the revenue comes. I think you've got to identify what your core business is, because it's all very well going, I want to do the happy floaty stuff, but if it doesn't make any money, it's all over. So, without being a capitalist, you, as a business, if that's what you're trying to do, you need to focus on where the biggest and easiest bit of revenue comes from. And I think as you build that as a base, then you can start adding on things which are nice to haves, which, in my business, there's loads of stuff that I do, which I know doesn't make any money. Like even selling merchandise, it's a pain. It's a pain, and it's really difficult to make any money, but people love being able to show their support and buying a t-shirt. But I don't know if you've experienced the whole merch thing, but it's not an easy circus to perform in. Yeah, and you can get really burned in it. So I think be honest with yourself about where the money is. And what was the other question? How do you prioritize the...
Do you get people to help, or do it yourself?
Well, I've always tried to do it myself. Then I tried to get people to help, because that's what people said I should do. You're too busy, Chris. Get other people to help. Then you get people to come in and help, and it's a conflict of personalities, and it very rarely works, is my sad experience. I haven't given up hope, but I think in order to, if your business, if you can't do the bits you need to do and understand on your own, get it going, make a decent wage as a lifestyle business, they call them, which is maybe where you are now, then it doesn't matter how many people you're going to get to come in and help, and you have to people manage. You need to understand every part of your business. So as long as I think you have done the groundwork and you understand how all of these elements work, then you can get some people in if it's successful and go, okay, well, actually, if I pay someone else, then there's 2 people building the chocolate bars that you're selling on the factory floor. And then it'll make some sense. But I think it's a personal thing, but I think I'm a bit of a control freak. So I prefer to do as much as I can myself, unless there's someone I really, really, really trust that can come on board. Yeah.
I'm exactly the same, and I've the last year or two I've really struggled with the backlog of content, because you'll know tour content is the hardest stuff to edit. It just takes
multi-camera,
so fucking long. It just takes forever.
It does.
Just takes forever to edit tour videos, and especially when there's like a year in between. It's a year ago, and you're like, shit, what happened on that one?
It's I went away in May, and I've still got like 4 more to do, and I just sat there. And like today, I'm trying to do it, but then, there's some website shitty issue. There's some, accountancy issue. There's, someone's coming to drop a bike off at Pitbox, or someone's coming to do it. And then before you know it, you're like, oh shit, I haven't done anything. Oh, I'm going on a podcast in a minute. And that's it. Day gone. But as I said earlier, that's, that's just what the day is. Embrace it.
Yeah. And I've been trying to find an editor. I had my son helping with me, helping with the editing for a while. He is a professional editor, but he doesn't ride a motorbike. He's not from this niche. Plus, he is like 27. He's not late 40s, 50-odd-year-old blokes. It's a different generation. He kind of gets our sense of humour, but some stuff he's like, Jesus, Dad, you can't be saying that. Whereas I look at it and go, what's wrong with that? There's nothing wrong with that. It's just what we talk about. But,
I
don't. I'm not sure. But anyway, he didn't want to do it anymore, just because the workload that's involved, and he has a job as well. And then I'm on like the second editor now from my son, and it's hard, because a good editor knows how much work's involved, and they know what the going rate is. And it's good editors aren't cheap, are they? But
but the hardest bit is certainly for our 44T stuff, and we've struggled over the years. We've got a good guy in now, actually, who's really good, and he helps with our filming stuff as well. So if he's shot it, it's a lot easier if they've shot it and edited it. So yeah, shout out to Liam, well done. And but yeah, we've really struggled, because to communicate the little nuanced stuff that you'll do on an edit that an editor won't even necessarily spot, even a high professional one, because it's your style. It's your painting, right? It's how you've communicated for years. And then sometimes you'll watch something and go, well, it is our video, but it doesn't really feel like us. So then you go, okay, right, what's missing? And then you have to, manage it. I don't think there is an easy answer. I think you make the decision to either just go, suck it up and do everything you can yourself, and just choose not to make so many videos. That's another good choice. And I know that sounds counterintuitive, but if you end up on a tour and you do a video in the morning and in the afternoon every day for 3 or 4 weeks, you're going to have a monster willpower to wake up and start going through that process, because you will have terabytes of data that all needs syncing. Oh, sync clap, one of the cameras didn't work, one of the sound things is broken, and then you just go, I'm just going to go and have a pint.
You've done this before, mate, haven't you? You've done this before.
I've done this before, yeah.
Oh, man.
One interesting thing on that topic, actually, which plumps into the other one, just on I used to get, when I would film and you do something, whatever, you say some cool things. Oh, it's a brilliant video. And then you check the camera and it would be bust for whatever reason. Microphone didn't work, blah, blah, blah. And I'd be like, oh my God. Now, in my new brain, I just go, well, the world wasn't ready to hear whatever I had to say.
Yeah. Wasn't meant to be.
Wasn't meant to be. And you just got to be able to let it go and go, okay, wasn't meant to be. Next one. Yeah. I mean, I might still get a bit ragey, but yeah.
That is such a healthy mindset to have. And occasionally I have been like that. I'm able to be like that. But I really have found the last year or two really quite tough. Like just mentally. I don't know why. It's felt like a duvet is being pulled over, you know, and you're getting pulled under. And it's just like, oh, fuck's sake. What is going on? Because, you know, for me personally, I'm living my dream. I'm doing what I love doing. I'm riding motorcycles. I'm filming and I'm editing. I'm traveling. I'm meeting new people all the time. You know, I tour every 3 weeks. I'm away doing a different tour. Meet great people. I've got loyal punters that come away a couple of times a year now with us. Life's great, but you just have this. God, I don't know. I've described it as like a noose around your neck, and it has been. I've put it all down to like this backlog of content, but I don't know if it is. I don't know if it is that. It's really, and it was so refreshing watching your vid with this, you know, with what you've just gone through and this new outlook you've got on life. It's just like, oh, I found it. It's like there's light at the end of the tunnel, you know. It's like, oh Christ, you were feeling like that, and then reading all the comments in the vid, there are so many people.
The comments are the most incredible thing about that video.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, amazing. And people just sharing, you know, pages and pages of stuff. And it's like, God, because, and I tell you, not being blowing my trumpet, but to have the courage to put something like that out there, from racing superbikes and being a knob around London, shouting at taxis, to then going, hey guys, there's like a whole other universe out there. And everyone's got I was expecting some shit, but I didn't get any shit. It's probably
people have been really supportive, haven't they?
Probably the least amount of shit I've got from any video. And I will just say that it's not the psychedelic thing was the catalyst that got me to that mental place. It's not, it doesn't have to be that. It can be anything. Sometimes you can just wake up in the middle of the night and, you know, you hear stories about people having these experiences and changing, but it really is actually a lot easier to get there than everyone thinks. It's not a massive, oh my God, it's going to take me months and years to try and train my brain to like do all this stuff. Everyone can wake up tomorrow with that brain. Like you can. It's totally within your power. You've just got to find the way that it works for you to do that. And the less you fixate about who you are, the easier it's going to become. Because you've probably, I don't know, I'm not a psychologist, but you know, because you've got to a certain place in your career and your life, and you're like, well, hang on, I'm this old and I haven't got this, and what happens if that, and what happens if this, and should I be, and you have this self-conducted, like orchestrated picture of what your life should be, and it's never going to be. Nobody ever looks at their life and goes, oh, well, I had this, you know, that's what I should be. Like it's totally different, and I think the moment you can go, look, what will be, as long as I can. You know, most people in life are good human beings. Like 99.9% of people are good human beings, and everyone has a good intention. We all make mistakes, totally. Everyone makes stupid mistakes, says bad things sometimes. We're human. It's just what happens. No one really does it with malice. So that's all you really need to focus on. I'm doing the best I can, and whatever comes into my world today is what I'll need to deal with. And pay attention to the little things that do happen when you change your mind, or when you're just sat at some traffic lights and a thought comes in your head and you go, oh, that's quite interesting. And you know, it's just about trying to listen to yourself, really who you are, rather than who you think you should be, and the car you should be driving, and the bike you should buy, and where you should go on holiday, and what house and why your house isn't big enough. It's all a load of shit. Because you never take anything away from this life. You will die. You came to this life with nothing, and you're going to die with nothing. And in one generation's time, no one's going to even remember your name.
Yeah.
So you're here for a limited time. And try to enjoy it, because you're not going to, you've got nothing to lose, basically.
Love it. I love that attitude. It's great. Right, Pete's got a couple other questions. We'll try and batter through them as quick as we can and move on, because there are a shitload for us to get through.
Okay, go on, let's smash them.
Question 2 from Pete. Does it ever get overwhelming, and how do you cope? I must admit to just completely shutting down, ignoring everything for a couple of days, and then coming back and hitting it hard to get back up to speed. That's me. That is me in a nutshell, Pete. That is me. 100%.
Yeah. But that's okay. Again, we're not designed to be contactable 24/7. And, it's not how human nature, it's just that the society we've been forced to live in makes us feel that we need to do those things in order to be successful in that society. But, I think bring back the non-contactable days and take the time on your own. Because I think people need time on their own. You can't just be sat there. You find one young person that can sit in a restaurant or a bus stop for 10 minutes and not pull out their phone. Like, just be in your own, experience your own thoughts. Because let's face it, it's not even good content now. It's just like cats jumping on picnic tables and having a poo, whatever.
The death scroll thing on Instagram's my crack. I don't really use Facebook that much anymore.
No.
They're one and the same, aren't they? But Instagram, it's just this death scroll. You look up and at nighttime, 3 hours have gone by, and I'm like, what the fuck? What have
Really
I done
bad.
for 3 hours? Just looked at gym chicks and stupid stuff. What's the point of that?
Yeah, nothing. And it never makes you feel better after you've done it.
No,
it's always worse.
It's crazy,
worse.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
This is our sphere. That's our
we,
world.
We are fully evolved adults that have lived a lot of life. You've seen some shit in your life. We've gone through a lot. Imagine being a 15-year-old kid and trying to have the willpower to not pick up your phone.
Yeah. Not knowing life outside of that before all that shit.
Yeah, it's really
that terrifies me.
Australia, they just introduced no social media before under 16. 100% behind that. Should be 18 in my opinion. I think it should be 18, and it's such a waste of life. I know we're on social media. People are watching this on social media, but it's such a waste of everyone's life to sit there and just watch content which makes you go,
doesn't impart any value.
No.
But then,
I do follow some interesting people that some things come up and I'm like, oh, that's really interesting, actually.
Me too. Yeah, true.
But that's because I follow those people if their stuff comes up. But the algorithm, you open it and it's just, wheelie's gone wrong or whatever, stupid shit. Someone getting hit by a wave, and it's captivating because it's like, I could just sit there and just, the cinema is playing for me and I can get my little dopamine hit, but it's not doing anyone any favors, let's face it.
Right. Okay. Right. Pete, that's Pete at Super Shield Auto, my mate Pete that does all the ceramic-y stuff. Pete, there is one more question from Pete, but we're going to crack on, mate. We're going to crack on and get through the other ones. Thank you very much for your questions. Pete, give us a shout when you go for a beer. Patrick Hennessy, Happy New Year to you both. Great to have Bru Time back. Thanks very much, Patrick. Happy New Year to you and your family too. My question to you both is: when the present cold snap we're experiencing in the UK, what are the worst weather conditions you've both ridden through, and where was this?
I mean, you've probably got more than me. Two events spring to mind. The first one was the day I left for the first tour I'd ever done on my own. Well, the first tour I'd ever done because I didn't have many bike mates. Was on my GSXR, and I'd booked it in, I think it was the 31st of March, and I was like, I'll be fine by then. And I woke up in the morning and there was snow everywhere. I was like, well, I've got 2 weeks off. If I slip off and hurt myself, I've got a couple of weeks to recover. I'm gonna go for it. And I got to the tunnel. It was fine, but it did take a long time. That's on video as well. So that was the first Tour de Baron video. And then the second worst one was in the Permission to Talk tour I did about 2 years ago through Romania. And suddenly this rain, it was like I've never seen it, monsoon appeared out of nowhere. But I was also only had 6 kilometers left on my GS fuel light. Jeez. And I was on a motorway and it was just, suddenly everything just filled with water and you couldn't get off the motorway. So yeah, those were Romania in the rain, running out of fuel, and the Tour de Baron departure was probably the worst.
I've got like 3 that jump to mind. The 2 extremes of heat. So hottest was, I think it was 53 Christmas Day in Australia. Was it Mount Ida? I think it was the place in Australia, Northern Australia. It was 53 degrees. That was just, it literally is like being in an oven. There's no
worse,
rest.
Actually, I didn't even think about heat. I just instantly went to cold. So yeah, fair play.
There's just no getting away from it. It's just, you can't, it's not even like you can flip your visor up and get cool air, because the air that hits your eyes is fucking hot, and it almost burns your eyeballs. So you have to bring the visor down, and then you're just cooking in your lid. So that was nice. That was a nice way to spend Christmas Day. The coldest was crazy, Canada, in April, but it was minus 38. And it shouldn't have been that temperature. There was just this really big cold snap that hit the whole of like Canada and North America. And I'm in my I was in my leathers. I think I had a fleece to put over the top, and it was just ridiculous. You could ride for 10 minutes and you were crawling along because of ice. You'd stop and I would literally put my bare hands on the exhaust just to try and get some feeling back in them, and then smell them as they cooked. That was good. And then we did a tour about 3 years ago with chicken strips, the first one of the year, and we went to the Ardennes, but we went in March, should have gone in April, and we got hit with snow one day. Literally, we turned up at the Nürburgring for like lunch at the afternoon, the calf at the halfway point in Nürburgring. Beautiful days, like 10, 11 degrees, blue skies. Started riding back and we were going to Spa. We were in Spa that night in a hotel. About 3 o'clock, I've got it on camera. There's just like this black line on the horizon. And I go, ooh, that doesn't look good. About 40 minutes late, like the odd little wee bit of snow starts coming down, and then you can see out in the fields, at the edges, the perimeters of the fields, that starts lying, and it's like, oh, that doesn't look good. 40 minutes later, it's like dinner plate sized snowflakes just landing, and you've just got snow everywhere. Complete whiteout. Everyone starts dumping their bikes, crashing all over the place. We had to abandon the bikes in the end, about 17k from the hotel. Found a pharmacy in this little wee crossroads town, went in there, and again, the universe. You reach out, the universe is there for you. We went in, there's a lady behind the counter. We said to her, look, would you mind if we leave our bikes here? We explained the situation. And she said, oh, my dad owns the pharmacy. He's a biker, no problem. I'll give him a call and, we'll get a car. And so he did. He said, yeah, no problems. Leave your bikes here. They'll all be safe. Phoned his mate up, who was a taxi driver. The taxi driver charges a fortune, but he turned up in a big van, took us to the hotel, and we ended up having to spend like 2 days extra in the hotel. So, oh well.
And what a beautiful story! What an amazing adventure! And this is what I'm saying about the universe. It will put you where you need to be. You're always where you need to be.
Yeah,
you're always where you need to be.
Yeah, I'm a believer in that. Yeah, absolutely. Right, cheers, Patrick. Thank you for that one. Johnny Hackinson, how you doing, Johnny? I agree, this is a great restart to the podcast. My question, when going on a long trip alone, do you ever worry about breakdowns? Personally, I do not. Help will always come around. Keep up the good work. What you just said. People are people. People are good. People will help if they can.
We hear so much of bad people that everyone assumes the worst. And I'm sure before you went on your world tour, you were like, oh God, that country is going to be a nightmare. That's going to be really difficult. God, there's going to be people everywhere. But I guarantee when you got there, yeah, there might be a few arseholes somewhere, but most people are delightful, right? Lovely people. Yeah, I do worry. I do. The question though, I do worry about breakdowns, but as long as you've got a decent bit of recovery, it's a motorbike. You can stick it in a van. You'll be fine.
Yeah. I don't think you can't be foolhardy about these things. You can't just go, well, someone will turn up and help me. You can't have that mindset. You've got to be reasonably self-sufficient to an extent, but people will come to help. If you're somewhere where people come by, somebody will stop. And certainly if you go out and stick your thumb out in there, or like if you actively seek help, somebody will give you some help. If they're there.
Absolutely. I mean, and to be fair, like European breakdown cover on a motorbike, it's going to be €100, isn't it? I mean, a year. It's not a lot of money if you've got, that's a couple of tanks of fuel, isn't it? Really. So, yeah, budget for some emergency situation. Yeah,
and make sure you've got it. We've had a few instances now on our tours because that's a stipulation that's on the booking form. Make sure you have European breakdown recovery. And people being people, issues happen, like bad punctures, tyres get like ripped, not just punctured, but ripped. And they go to phone up their European breakdown recovery. No, you didn't take it out, and it's just like, oh. So make sure you've got it if you're going to be going away on one of these trips.
Yeah.
Your own trips, I mean. Cheers for that one. Thank you very much, Johnny. Matt Rowe Designs. Question to you both. Do you find working on bike-themed content for a living, you lose some of the magic or passion for motorcycles? When I designed for motorcycle brands for my day job, I found picking up an MCN newspaper, for example, felt more like work than play. I met Chris at the Bike Shed show a few years ago and had made a sexy Girls on Bikes calendar for him, if he remembers, from Matt Rowe Designs. So do you find you lose the passion for it?
You can't help but be, you can't help but it lose a bit of magic. Like it's just the way it is. But as long as you keep remembering why you do it, and every now and again go, oh, I'm going to put the cameras away. I'm going to put this away. I'm not going to film this. I'm just going to jump on my GS and I'm going to go for a ride. And then within 20 minutes, it all comes back. So, again, positive mindset would be, well, thank God you work with something you love.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, it happens. It's a natural thing. But would you prefer to do that or work in a chicken factory?
Unless you particularly love being around dead chickens, Chris. Maybe you do. Maybe that's your dream
I didn't
job.
Stipulate that the chickens were dead. It could be an egg factory or a feather factory.
Other style of chickens are available.
Other style of chickens are available, yeah.
Yeah, I totally get that. Yeah, what you're saying, not about the chickens, about what Matt was saying. I think it's easy. It's easy to lose that passion. It's easy to forget why you're doing that dream job in the first place, isn't it? Because it just becomes a job, or maybe it shouldn't just become a job if you don't do what you were saying about having that separation. I think, and keeping that passion alive for what it is that you do really is important. And I've been guilty of not doing that. I can't remember the last time I went out for a ride with my old mates, my mates that I used to ride. It's been like 4 or 5 years since I last went away with them. So it's like, that needs to be sorted. I need to do that for sure.
But also, interestingly, if what we're talking about earlier, people change. And I'm not saying Matt's going to go, oh, I hate bikes now. I'm not interested in bikes. But maybe his life is just getting to a different cycle to go, actually, I really enjoy this, whatever that is. Pickleball, I don't know, whatever. And maybe he'll get into that for a few months, few years. And then when the time is right, he'll rediscover his love for bikes. And I think that's, you've got to, listen to what you enjoy. Listen to what you enjoy. And if you're not, you can't go, oh, I'm losing my love for motorbikes. I need to throw myself more into motorbikes. Just go, okay, we'll have a break.
Try something else. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Emperor 3. Is that empathy? Emperor 3. Finally, the podcast is back, and what a comeback with royalty. Royalty, Chris.
Wow, don't you know?
Yes. Chris, thank you for everything you're doing for the community, especially opening up with mental issues. My question, from my perspective, one of the big issues for our community still at the moment is theft of bikes. Not only the headaches it comes with, hours of lost planning routes and the safest places to park, but compared when I'm traveling abroad, but in my perspective, it's one of the reasons we have less young people with bikes, not only because of the theft, but because of the growing price to insure. So what is your opinion on that? And maybe would be time for YouTubers community came to, I think he means, and maybe it would be the time for YouTubers to come together and create some kind of movement and bring with you all the people that follow you to do a ride to the House of Lords or all over the country to the big. So is it time that we did something about this to raise the profile of it? Yeah, bike theft, thoughts?
Yeah, it's disgusting. I've had bikes nicked. I'm sure you probably have over the years.
Touchwood, I've not had one of my own bikes nicked, but we had a guy on one of our tours just recently in Grenoble. Night 2 of the tour, his bike was stolen outside from the hotel.
That's interesting because I never have any issues abroad. It's always in the UK.
It's massive in particularly France now. It's huge. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yes, I think it's disgusting, abhorrent, and the problem with it, and the reason why it is so rife, is because there's no punishment. And and again, this sounds all conspiratorial and anti-government and all that stuff, but until people start punishing criminals, actual criminals, not people who said twat or something on Facebook or called someone a hate word, like actual criminals, it's going to carry on, and that's where we are going to be. And this is one of the reasons. It's one of the things that's going to lead to this revolutionary type fight attitude, because people are just fed up. Like, they're fed up. You can't, even if you're battling through all the other crap in this country, at least you still got your motorbike to go and ride and enjoy. Well, no, because you're going to get done in a bus lane, which I got done in Guildford. I got £105 fine, and it's on video. And I literally clipped the corner of it when it ended, and you're just like, oh, really? On a motorcycle on a bus lane? We're still arguing about this, are we? Anyway. Or someone's going to nick your bike, and I don't know what you do. I mean, we did think about doing like a bait bike thing, because years ago, you'll remember it, when you were up in London, there was quite a few. The Met Police did some bait bike operations, and a bait bike, for those of you who don't know, is basically a nice super bike parked up in a motorbike bay in London, monitored, trackers, all that stuff, waiting basically for someone to steal it. But for some, we don't have those operations anymore. No one seems to care. So,
my honest opinion on that is because I think the reason they don't do it is because there's nowhere to put anyone in. Although they seem to find room for Mrs. Miggins that writes a hearty Facebook post. They find room in prisons for those people. But we're continually told there's no room in the prisons anymore, hence why they're a lot more lenient on what would have been automatic prison offences.
Just trying to feed their family, mate.
Yeah.
Get in the bin.
That was my world. I dealt with those people for near on 20 years. And it is just a way of life. There's no desperation there. These people have nicer TVs, nicer clothes, nicer watches, nicer phones, nicer cars than most of us do, who are knocking our panic. And it really was incredibly frustrating and discouraging to see that side of life. And it's just it's a societal thing, I think, and I think tolerance is a fantastic thing, but I think we have definitely become too tolerant now.
I don't think the people have become too tolerant. I think the people are enraged. I think the people
we don't do anything about it.
More enraged. But being British, we just for some reason sit here and take it and go, oh well,
But people stand by and film on their phones when someone's, grinding a lock off of a motorcycle or push bike now, rather than getting involved. And I appreciate why they don't get involved.
If we went in there with a crowbar and smack someone over the head, you get in trouble. And you're just like, I think.
But again, we've tolerated all of this. We've tolerated all of this over the years. We are now at that point whereby this is going to boil over, People are at their wits' end, not wits' end. Their patience is gone, and people are at that point where they're going, okay, I'm just going to fight now, and I think that's dangerous. That's dangerous because I think the reasonable side of people's brains and the tolerance, the patience, the compassion, all of the good things which we're capable of as a person. When you get into that fight-flight situation, especially in a mob mentality when there's loads of people there getting involved, that goes out the window. You just end up with people acting on sheer emotion, and that is when things get very, very dangerous. And I fear this because you can feel that temperature rising rapidly at the moment. And it's going to hit a point, I think, unless things aren't done en masse to prevent this.
But they're not going to be done en masse. They're not going to be. I think it will get there because I can't see anything being done. What's going to be done?
I fear that you're right, to be honest. I think it's going to get to that point of mass civil disobedience and direct action, unfortunately.
It's trying to get rid of the fear that the government or whoever, the authorities, are instilling in you. Oh no, don't say this, watch out, we're going to punish you. And that's why all these people are getting sent to prison, because they want to send a message. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But if everyone went, no, we're not having this. And if everyone said, no, we're not paying our tax bill, we're not paying our council tax bill, we're not paying the council tax bills, all of that stuff. You can't drive 2 meters outside my house without hitting a pothole the size of the moon. And you just think, yeah, cool, okay, well, that's great, And the rage that people have, and they just want to get to work. They just want to get to work and not get snapped by a camera or this or that. And it's going to, I think we're there. I think we are there. But it involves trying to get people together, because as a group of people, don't forget, government's powers of authority only exist because the people requested to put them there. If you
100%,
you took society
100%.
as a village with 500 people in, and it was like the villagers were like, oh, it's a bit messy down there, or oh, that's a bit dangerous, or they go, oh, let's appoint someone in the village to just deal with cleaning up the shit. That, in essence, is the government. And unfortunately, it's gone from that guy that the people tell to go and clean up the shit to an overbearing vampire on everyday lives. And I may sound like a bit of a twat in this podcast, but it infuriates me, and I find it such a drain on good people's daily lives. It's gross. It's gross. And it's like, don't worry. Okay. And then you go, okay, well, I'll just go and buy something to make yourself feel better. Go on Amazon. Go and buy something. And you're just like,
jeez, that is it. That is it.
It's easy. It does sort of kind of help. I can see that, the devil's there going, oh, just buy that thing. Go on. Treat yourself. Don't worry about what are you going to do about it? Just enjoy yourself. So, that escalated.
But I mean, it's true. I don't think people are going to think you're a twat in the slightest. I think there are millions of people not listening to this podcast, sadly, but there are millions of people out there who think exactly what you just said.
Yeah,
they're thinking
that.
Well,
I hope so. I hope so, and I hope they all come together in some way, which isn't banned or a prisonable offence to communicate. And just go, this is not good enough. Even when there's massive protests, news, the government, ignore it and just go, oh, there's 300 people there.
Yeah, I know. That really riled me up.
Was there 300 people
there? Hang on, I'm watching it on the screen. That's not 300,000 people. Anyway.
Crazy. Right, next
Go on,
question.
Tommy.
Go on.
Emperor 3, he's got another one there, a bonus one. He says, Bruce is always saying the best roads are in Spain, but for you, Chris, what do you prefer, Spain or Portugal?
I've not done a lot in Portugal. I do hear that, what's the mountain range at the top of Portugal called?
Can't remember, but I've been there.
Yeah.
And the middle's good.
Yeah, that's good. So from experience, I would also say Spain.
Yeah. Portugal's good. Portugal is good. And it's, having done a tour there last year with Si, he showed me roads that I'd never seen in Portugal, and they were very good. They're equally as good as some of the best parts in Spain. Spain still gets it for me. I think Spain probably still gets it for me out of just about everywhere I've been, just because of just the scale and the fact in Spain you can go up into the mountains and you can ride up in the mountains for hours, if not all day. You'll hardly see any traffic. You're just surrounded by epic scenery. You can have the fast sweeping bends, you can have the tight hairpin stuff, you can have every style of riding you want. Spain still, and it's cheap compared to most of Europe. It's cheap,
and it's still, and this is probably not the case. And I don't advocate this, but it does feel like the kind of place that if you were going a little bit quick, you probably get let off a little bit easier.
Yeah. I often talk about this in that I remember doing the N260 for the first time ever, and I was stood at the side of the road just talking to camera, filming. Two coppers came by on motorbikes, and I caught up with them once I got back on the bike, and I was just sat behind them as we're riding through we're heading like west along the N260, and they waved me alongside him, so I pulled up alongside, and he was just like gesturing, go for it, and he gave me a big thumbs up, and the pair, well it's just one actually, he just goes whap up onto the back wheel and fucks off on the back wheel, and it was like, all right, this is how it is here then, right, okay, let's have some fun.
Yeah.
Great times.
Whereas in England, for the international viewers, if you hiked a wheelie, you get an instant ban, and possible jail time.
That's just the ridiculous thing.
Yeah.
That annoys me. I know why they do it, but for a biker, if
who
someone
else is endangered, it's going to be you, right?
As long as they're in control, and most people, when you see them doing, well, that's a sweeping generalization. Wheelies can either be total fluke, you do one and you're completely out of control, or you have supreme control of that bike. Those ones that have the supreme control, it's like, that is amazing. They've got way better control than anyone I know. It's just fantastic.
And this is it. And I mean, I know it would be impossible to police and work out, but let's say Toprak Razgatioglu, right? He could wheelie the entire length.
I'm impressed you managed to say that right. Well done.
Hey, let's go. That's how he says it.
Half a bottle of Bailey's helps.
Basically. But he could wheelie through the entirety of London, right? On one wheel the whole way, doing anything, like drinking food, eating, whatever, because he is that skilled. How can that person who is that skilled still be deemed as a dangerous rider person, as someone who is just, we all know him, we've probably got mates, a very unskilled rider, but you're governed by the same rules. You can only go 70 mile an hour because you don't have the skill to get around it. You can't do this because you don't have the skill to control your bike. I'd argue massively that you do have the skill. So I'd be much more in favor of like a tiered license, to have an advanced motorcyclist license where you have to pull a wheelie that goes at least 100 meters, and then you can wheelie wherever you want.
But back in the day, right? Back in the day, the reason laws are there to sort of take into account the sort of lowest common denominator. It's why you've got stuff like the stickers on cookers saying "Don't touch when hot," stuff like that. There are people out there that need this. But back in the day, even like 10, 15 years ago, when you got to court with certain things, or even before, it wouldn't even get to court, because by the time you dealt with somebody and you got them at the neck, or you're processing them just you're not arrested, you just get processed and you get the notice of intended prosecution in the post. Before that happens, someone would sit and look at all this and just be like, okay. Phone you up and go, right, what's your version of events? Tell me what happened to you. And then it would, like...
You go, look, I'm really sorry, got a bit carried away, but,
You had discretion.
Whatever.
As a copper, we had discretion back in the day, but that has gone now. Yeah. It's gone because... For loads of different reasons, and some of those reasons were because somebody would get off with something, and then someone else would go, oh, well, I got arrested or stopped for doing exactly the same thing, but I've got this, and they were male, or they were gay, or they were non-white.
The biggest factor, which to be true, was they were acting like a complete dick. So that's it.
Yep. Failed the attitude test.
You're a dick. You're going to get in trouble.
Yeah. So they've got rid of that now, so that there is no... There is no sort of middle ground anymore. It's just cut and dried. And I think coppers are different now. The younger coppers, they're not taught to deal with confrontation anymore. No. They're taught not to deal with confrontation, which mind blown.
Who would want to be a police officer? I mean, believe it or not, in my careers, when you were at school, what was it called? Careers officer or something? Mm-hmm. And it was deemed that I should be a policeman. And
I could see you as a cop. I could.
I would quite like it because I have a massive hard-on for justice. Right?
Yeah.
I find injustice the most intolerable thing. Injustice winds me up, not on my behalf, on anyone's behalf. Like if I see an injustice, I find it really difficult to let go of it. And so I quite like the thought of being in the police and doing the right thing and serving the community and doing the right thing. Yeah. But it doesn't seem like it's any of that. And
that's why you wouldn't have lasted, mate. And sadly, it's just because it's just not how it is. That's not how life works anymore. Sadly, really.
But it should be. When we're king of England, you could change it, right? But I think that's almost as radical as it needs to be. The whole thing needs to be thrown in the bin and go, we're going to have some tough years, or we'll figure this out. But I don't want it. Nobody wants this. Does anyone want this society? I struggle to think. No one I personally know likes it.
I mean, there must be people out there who want this because they're orchestrating things to. We're in real danger of bringing you back. I think we're bringing you back a few stages.
I think it could be the half a bottle of Baileys I've consumed. Anyway, next question.
God. It's got real political, isn't it? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
folks. It wasn't meant to be like a political rant, this, but it kind of has got that way. Right, Two Bob Rocket. Wow, what a restart. Good evening, gents. My questions are, question one, what is something we're told is progress that has actually made life worse? See, everyone's feeling like
question.
this.
But it's a reflection. This is how accurate your podcast is. It's a reflection of society. Right? The questions
The people
that people
have
are
spoken.
asking.
Yep.
Yeah, they're fed up. They're fed up. What was the question?
What's something we're told is progress that's actually made life worse?
Progress. All of it. I think if anything says progress, it's probably a mask, because it's the kind of word that people who don't really have anything important to say or know what they're saying use a lot. So, because it's a get out of jail card, isn't it? The word progress. We're gonna make progress. Well, okay, but you haven't answered my question or whatever. Oh well, we're making progress in that area. Is a bullshit word. So, yeah, I mean, the word progress always reminds me of an iPhone ad when I was in London. I went to the iPhone store, whatever it's called, Apple store, and there's just this great big banner that just said, "Progress is progress." And that, for me, sums it up. Progress is progress. Exactly what I just said before that statement. There you go. And it's just it's just load of shit. So I think an iPhone probably would be my answer.
Yeah, I mean, it's I think it's fantastic that with technology and social media, we now have access to the world. We have access, and not just to the world that the powers that be want you to know of. You know, you have access to normal people like you, me, your mum, your dad, your mates. Anyone that's got a phone now has the ability to just get on there and give their view and say, this is what life's like for me. This is what my country, this is what me as people, this is what we're like. I think that's fantastic. It's gone too far now because it's just like, I used to love, I loved YouTube and social media because it was raw and it was that. It was, maybe I was just ignorant in the early days, but it felt like it was unfiltered, real access to people.
It was. You're not ignorant. It was, yeah.
Now, traditional media has now caught up and is aware of that power. And it just feels like a lot, I don't, especially with AI now as well, it's like, I don't believe most of the stuff that's put in front of me. And I find myself having to question, maybe you should. Maybe that's a good thing that you question everything that's put in front of you. But it's fucking exhausting. Isn't it?
But then don't you think the magic of that will be that people get so exhausted that they just go, I'm going to go for a walk in the woods with my family.
Yeah. There's more and more people turning this off now. You notice that?
I'd love to get a burner phone. I just want to get a burner phone and have a conversation with someone.
Yeah. Nokia 3310. Let's go back to that.
Absolutely. The Matrix banana phone. Done. Oh.
But this is life now, and I like the fact that I can reach my audience and I can engage with them just by, I walk every day. I take the dog out in the mornings and you just chat away when you're on the phone, similar to what you're doing, and occasionally, if I've not done it in a while, but I get on the rower and I've got a trim teapot thing to try and get people to just do something, just move in the morning. Because I've felt the positive impact that has on me, mentally and physically. What a difference that is in the morning. Like you said, you just get up and do something, anything. Yeah. You've achieved one thing. Tick it off.
Exactly. You've already achieved it for the day. You've already made success. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think that's brilliant that social media has that power. But it's like, it's fucking yin and yang with it, isn't it? It's like there is this, I think there's a massive dark side to it and a really bright light side to it. It's like, I suppose because it's so new, we haven't found that sweet spot, that balance yet.
Yeah. I mean, I guess being the most relaxed approach to it all would be, what's meant to be is meant to be, and maybe these difficult conversations are happening because it's something to engage your mind with and think about and investigate. So I don't know. You could just go, we could all be engulfed in flames tomorrow. So happy days. Get
the marshmallows. Yeah. I've just seen Two Bob's second question. I fucking love this. This is awesome. If time itself is just another dimension in space-time, why do we structure our lives as if we're constantly running out of it? I love this shit. I could talk about this sort of stuff all day.
Same here. I love it. And it reminds me of you have to be there. But I was having this exact conversation with my girlfriend the other morning. We stayed up, we went camping and just talking shit and about this type of stuff. And I was like, yeah, exactly. Tell a bird it's Sunday. And it was just like this funny thing because the animal kingdom, like try telling an animal that it's a particular day of the week. It'd be like, what the fuck are you on about? It's like, yeah. Human beings are the only ones that have made this thing time. And time is it's one of the biggest. This is a lot of the books that I mentioned in that video, the Eckhart Tolle one, Power of Now, a couple other ones. The whole concept of time is man-made because the only time that is ever is now. Like that's it. There is no like anything that ever happened in the past happened now, but then, and anything that's ever going to happen in the future happens now. It's just then, right? So yeah, that whole, I find it fascinating, and it's a bad human trait to it's a modern human creation that we run our lives by this thing called time. So, and it makes the now even more valuable because that's the only thing that really matters.
But then, is that not what has made us humans what we are and where we are today? Is that what maybe helps differentiate us from the rest of the animals on the planet? The fact that we do prioritize certain things and we have done so. No.
I don't think so. But then I don't. Here we go. Hang on. This is the Baileys talking.
Yeah.
But we're aliens anyway. I think genuinely there's a high argument. There's a really good argument that the human race, because we're not like anything else on this planet, is actually not from this planet. Like there is a good. I think there's a. I could just debate that again. I'm not saying that's the truth. I just find it a really interesting concept that I'd love to be able to debate with someone to go, well, prove that it was. Oh, well, historians have found this. Yeah, but we all know that the media and everyone lies and all that stuff. So why wouldn't historians and archaeologists lie because of the same powers involved? And But actually, I think it's a really convincing argument that we came from a good planet.
And we're saying this about historians and scientists have said this and said that. Yes, but history and science is being proven wrong every single day by new findings and stuff that we're finding out. And it's like, well, maybe that isn't actually correct. And oh crap, there might actually be a different reason for this or for that. It's a fascinating time to be alive at the moment. I do, because you can just sit and listen to a podcast, can't you? And someone comes on there, who could be a crackpot. They might have smoked too much shit, but they open their mind and start talking about stuff, and you think, Jesus Christ. Then a physicist, Brian Cox, will come on and just start actually telling you about known physics about stuff. And even he's like, we can't explain that, but
here's the magic. This is my favorite thing in that field now, the science and let's call it, I don't like this word particularly, but spiritualism worlds, right? This whole quantum physics is a really good example of this, where there's unexplainable things that science is trying to explain, and the spiritualist stuff guys are like, well, yeah, that's because there's energy, this, that, and this. And the spiritualist and the science guys are going, no, you're talking shit. That's rubbish. You can't prove it. But I think that there's going to be a convergence of these two fields soon, very soon, because like dark matter and all of these things that we can't explain. I think you could, if you looked to the ethereal Lord of the Rings world, you could at least find theories which would explain that, and then. I think that's my favorite topic at the moment, is the crossover between these two fields, completely other side of the spectrum, science, fact, spirituality, faith. Like it's completely the opposite.
Yeah.
But I think they can help each other. It's my favorite bit.
Yeah, I'm going along those paths at the moment myself as well. I've never really been a person of faith. I've never been a religious person. But as I've got older, I've definitely started questioning a lot more things. And I'm still not religious, but I've started reading like David Suchet, the actor?
Yeah.
David Suchet. He has done an audiobook of the complete Bible. I don't think the Book of Enoch's in it. I haven't got that far. But there's like 3,000 chapters. I think I'm at chapter 300 and something at the moment. And I never read the Bible, didn't know anything about it, just what people said in the past. And I was just like, do you know what? I'm just going to, audiobook. I'm out walking the dog. I'm just going to listen and let's just see. And I mean, I'm a little bit confused at the moment because I was brought up to believe that, that if there is a God, then he loves everybody and he's very forgiving. And no, not at the moment. At the moment, he's killing everybody. Anyone that doesn't agree with him, he just kills them.
He's had 2 bottles of Baileys and he's absolutely...
Oh, yeah. So I'm waiting to see where the plot twist comes in this. But, I just find myself much more open now as I'm getting older. Maybe it is because I'm getting older and life just life throws, you lose parents, you lose friends, you lose family. You do start thinking to yourself, is this it? Is there more to life? Is there anything out there? And
they're fantastic questions to ask, surely.
But it's like I don't know what your experience is. I've seen a fair few people pass away now, and there is a definite. We're not there. When you die, it literally is a vessel. Like the person's gone. I even saw it with my own mum. It's just there's just a body there. The person isn't there anymore, and it's like it does make you think. Well, where do you go? What happens? Because physics tells you energy is conserved. It's always conserved. So where does that go? What happens to it? And I'm fascinated by that, really.
Yeah.
I love listening to people that have various theories and philosophies on it. Who knows? Who knows what's right? But, pass.
Yeah, I mean, I love all that stuff as well. And I think, again, I'm not religious. I don't follow a god, but I think a lot of the core of a lot of the main religions is all pretty similar stuff, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I think, but I absolutely believe in energies. I absolutely believe in, I'm actually, I'm such a loser. I'm actually there's a healing technique called Reiki. So I'm level 2 qualified Reiki healer now.
Really?
Yeah. And I'm going to do my master this year. It's, to be honest, anyone can pass it. It's not a difficult test. But I absolutely, because since my experience, I feel different. I can feel different things, and I'm convinced there is more to this energy thing. So, I'm so convinced by the experience that I had that I know it. I just know it. So, and if people disagree with me, that's absolutely fine. Don't care. Brilliant. But because of that, I'm so much more open to what the human soul is, what that is, what happens when you die, what all this stuff. And I find it incredibly interesting. And I don't as much. And again, an atheist or whatever you want to call them, agnostic, I think it is. They can. I haven't got, and this is the beautiful thing. I don't have a problem. I'd love to debate all these people and have a nice dinner and talk about these things and go, well, what about this? How about this? And not get angry and discuss these ideas, because it's an interesting human experience to do that. But yeah, I totally believe in reincarnation. Fact. In my perspective, it is. And I believe in energies. And I think once you understand, or energy as a word, it sounds all very hippie and stuff, but there's forces at play that science cannot detect, but you and I know they're there. We've all been into a room where someone's just had an argument, or something great's happened, something bad's happened, and you can feel it. You don't know what it is, but you can feel these things.
Spidey sense, yeah.
Spidey sense. Oh, do you know what? I'm not going to go down that road today because I just don't want to. I'm not going to drive down that, whatever. And then you find out a reason why you didn't. Like, those things, they're not measurable by a Geiger counter or some sort of scientific device. They operate on a different plane. So, yeah, I'm all in on energy.
I'm saying there has to be something more to it. There doesn't. We could just be an entire fluke. We could just be a bunch of cells on a rock hurtling through space with no purpose whatsoever. You do your time, you're done. That's it.
We could be. Or we could all be in a VR headset with the fucking wires in the back of our heads.
The simulation theory. Jesus Christ, yeah. That just blows my mind. But I find it quite comforting to think that there's maybe more.
Yeah.
And will we ever find out? Well, maybe one day we will. Who knows? But I get why people follow a religion, because I think it can be very comforting to people, particularly in times of despair, times of bereavement, low times, high times. I do get that. I absolutely get that. Yeah.
I think religion, and this isn't meant to be inflammatory or derogatory, but I think religion is the mainstream media of spirituality. So it's got all the key. There's so much power struggle, and again, human beings have corrupted religions for their own benefits. But the mainstream media, it still gives you some news, right? It's still there, but it may not be all the news or the true news or exactly what happened or whatever. Like the Bible, I'm sure many things in the Bible were documented acts that actually happened, but I'm sure over the years of translations, it's got twisted, it's got changed, it's got manipulated. So I think it's not a bad thing because it does open people's mind. But I think, I don't think you need a religion as such to be a person that can believe in life after death, reincarnation, all that sort of stuff. I think, I like to think of myself as taking little bits of Buddhism and a little bits of, whatever, Jesus and blah, blah, blah.
I'm with you on that.
Okay, I understand that because that's what talks to me. And then I just go, well, that's what I want to do. No one else has to have anything to do with it. Like that's me.
No, I totally get you on that. I totally agree. Yeah. Right. Wow. Sheesh. I'm enjoying this. I'm loving this. I've missed this. I genuinely, I think that's maybe the reason why it's felt like things were coming on top, because I stopped doing the podcast. And the podcast it's this kind of conversation. You have this opportunity just to vent stuff and talk. It almost is like counselling. I genuinely feel like this is like great therapy, because you just chat about shit, don't you?
Well, I hate to tell you, I do charge £300 an hour, and we're on an hour and a half. So,
oh Jesus! By the way, do you have a time constraint?
No, we're all right. No.
So you want to be Mossy 7.5 hours? Yeah.
No, there's a cat that's going to be wandering around in a minute trying to eat some food. But it'll be fine.
No dramas. Right, next one. Thanks for that too, Bob. Next one, Mike Whiting. As a supporter of TeapotOne and 44 Teeth, thank you both for your hard work and entertainment. My pleasure. Question 1. If you could pick 2 bikes from the 2025 bike show, what would you pick?
KTM 990 RCR and probably the Norton V4 Jobby.
Oh, okay. Do tell. I haven't seen either in the flesh. I didn't do any of the bike shows or events last year.
Yeah,
I know Moby's from MCN. He's fallen in love with that RCR.
I mean, they only had one on the show on the stand, but it looks amazing. And look, I'm happy. First of all, I know there's a lot of hate for KTM because of the issues they've been having, and they've let some customers down. I get that, I totally get that. But we all need that. Most likely so small and fragile. We need every manufacturer to be doing well, and I'm really on their side to get a product out there, not go bust, and it looks like an awesome product. I've not ridden it yet. Al's ridden it. We've actually got one from KTM, picked it up on like 2 days ago. So we're filming with it tomorrow, funny enough. So although it's -6 or something outside, so I don't know if we'll ride it. We might just do a walk around tomorrow. But yeah, so and I think it looks amazing. Now I totally get that. There is this. It's not an unsaid. It's an unsaid via manufacturer in the industry pushback to these new super sports 900cc bikes. Like, oh, we're 900cc bikes. That used to be a super bike. There's nothing you can do about it. Like, it's a EU thing. That's just the emissions. That's what everything's happening. So I miss the 1000cc's. I love that. Otto, get down. Get down. Sorry, my cat's on the... Did you hear that? Did you hear that?
God, she's gobby, isn't she?
Yeah. I miss 1000cc's like anyone. But I do think, having ridden the Panigale V2 and the R9 on circuit this year together, such a laugh, such a good time. I think if you can detach yourself from wheelie waving superbikes, which are amazing thrills, like the fun element of these bikes, that super sport sector is really engaging. It's really engaging. I've not ridden the KTM yet, but we dynoed it. I'm not going to give the result away, but it's quite pokey for what it is. And I just think it just looks like an absolute riot. And it looks like a MotoGP bike. It's super cool. I love it. I think it's great. And it's inverted commas, big inverted commas, cheap for what it is. And also KTM said they're never going to make another super bike or sports bike. And they have for the road.
Yeah. Well, there was such the old RC8. I mean, it was it was such a unique bike,
awesome,
wasn't it? It was amazing. What an amazing machine that was. And then when it went, there's just so many people wanted that to come back and to see this new. Is it 9? Is that what it is? RC9? Is that right? Is that what it's called?
The KTM 990 RC Space R.
RC Space, right? Yeah.
RCR.
To see that coming back, it's quite exciting. It is exciting because it almost felt like the death of the sports bikes, and seems to be a little revival coming back. We'll see. What's the Norton like then? Because I loved the V4 when that came out a few years ago. I saw that at the show.
Yeah, so I think the old one pretty much had the Aprilia engine in it, whereas I think this one is I don't know who whether it's Norton that makes sense. I don't know. I'm getting complicated, but yeah, it's updated motor. It's just the design of it. I think looks really attractive. I will say though, in the pictures of it, you know the one I'm talking about. Was it the Manx R or something? Manx R. It's just got this really the tail light's got this really nice retro designed stripy lines. The bodywork looks. There's no fuss on it. There's no you look at. Again, KTM, Yamaha, Kawasaki, they've all got faces like they've, like a Stranger Things demigorgon thing.
Yeah. Looks like a Triffid, doesn't it? Everything's got wings now.
Everything's just all up. And it's so nice to see something which is sleek and pure. So I love that. I will say in the flesh, it does still look really good, but it almost looks too sleek and,
sparse.
Maybe, but maybe they chose some bit of a strange colours. They had some weird lilacs and minty green things. But I think, I think those two, I'm looking forward to getting on board for sure.
He's got an interesting second question here. Is there any bike kit that stands out for you for 2026?
Kit.
That's interesting. Yes.
What, wearing kit or bits?
Anything, I'd imagine. Anything from stuff that you wear through to stuff that goes on a bike or you use with bikes. What do you think of these new head-up displays that certain helmet manufacturers are trying to bring in?
I mean, they tried a few years ago, didn't they? What was that one that... This is about 10 years ago now, I think. Chase on Two Wheels had one. What was it called?
I can't remember. I know the one you're talking about.
You know the one. And it was sort of everywhere and then just never happened. I mean, head-up display, I mean, Jesus Christ. I struggle on a winter's day to see anything via, like with steaming up lid and pin locks. And so I think a head-up display... I think that... First of all, I don't think I'd actually be interested in the data. Like, what's it going to tell me? I hate modern cars that have got too much screen time. So, on a motorcycle, I don't know what information it's going to tell me that I need to know particularly. So, yeah. I mean, there's an argument to be had on superbikes when you've got a sat nav on and you're on a tank bag and it's really difficult. Your head's going up and down, but. Yeah, don't know. Just
buy a GS.
Just buy a GS. Everyone, by the way, everyone watching this, you will get there. You will once you're true to yourself, you will get there and buy a GS.
There's so many people that are just so stubborn. They will never experience the sheer joy and ease of riding. And not just the GS, any modern adventure bike. Find one that you like, but they're just. Just
so
accept
fast.
it.
Like
Just
they are,
get one.
they're what 100? What's KTM now? 180 brake horsepower.
Something stupid like that. Ridiculous. The GS is like 150 odd now. Jesus, on 45,
And
whatever it is.
so we're talking rewind 20 years. What was what 999R? What's that? 140 brake horsepower at best.
Yeah, well, Jigsaw Thou was like 115, 120 or something daft, if that.
So, these things are super bikes that you can ride all day. You can put your lunch in the back. You can put your missus on the back. You can get wet. Well, you don't get wet. You can. They're amazing. And I will repeat that nothing looks cooler than a fully laden GS Adventure pulling a wheelie out of a toll booth.
Yeah,
Down like a massive great thing.
I wish I could wheelie. Oh, anyway, never mind. So,
for legal purposes, you can't.
Obviously, that's on a closed road. Toll booth on a closed road.
A closed toll road booth.
That's the one. Yeah. Yes. You journos seem to use them quite frequently.
All the time.
So there's no particular bit of bike kit then that stands out for you?
I have just ordered. We do some stuff with Lone Rider, and they just sent the Moto panniers and the Moto rack, the Moto case. So for the GS, with
the hard luggage,
the hard one. So with the is it Molly? I don't know how to pronounce it. Molly racks things where you can strap loads of cool stuff. Looks really like military and industrial, and so I'm looking forward to putting those on. I've literally just need to fit them to the bike.
Yeah, it's good kit, the Lone Rider stuff.
It's brilliant kit, isn't it? And the soft. I've had the soft luggage for years, but yeah, I'm quite interested in this.
Yeah, I'm trying to think any bit of kit. I'll tell you what I've just bought. I just bought it before Christmas. I'm into me drones, and I bought the new Insta360 one. The anti-gravity A1.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
I bought that, so I was using that out in Gran Canaria just before Christmas. That's quite exciting. That unfortunately you have to wear the goggles, so you're wearing the goggles when you fly, and you've got a little hand controller, so you look a complete muppet. Some of the boys took some ride-by pictures as I was stood there, and you do look like. I mean, I just look like a fat old man with stupid goggles on.
Pornography.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but the footage that potentially you're going to be able to obtain in the bike sphere with that's quite exciting. It's not got great range, it's line of sight stuff really, so the second a tree or a mountain certainly gets in the way, so if the bikes go around the mountain and you're going to lose contact. But the ability to just you're wearing the goggles, so you where the drone is, and you can literally sit above somebody. It doesn't go overly quick, you're only talking 30-35 mile an hour, maybe 40 at a push at the moment. But it's a lot easier to navigate and fly safely because you're there, you're seeing what the drone's seeing. Whereas, when you're way over the other side of the valley trying to fly.
Terrifies me. A wayward drone scares the shit out of me. I don't know what it is about it. It's not just the money of it disappearing. It's the hitting a cow or a child or just like
a car and sending someone off the cliff.
What it does terrify me.
Yeah.
But in that kit thing, I mean, I'm looking for. I just want to get. I really want to get a small package. Hey, kind of everything. I really want a small package that I can take away. And I've actually just moved to DJI cameras. The action cameras. They're amazing. Like honestly, really, really good. So I use that with the drone, but I want to get like a little drone and just be able to have a little bag that I can take on a tour. Because as you know, people go, "Oh, you're taking so much stuff with you." I was like, "Yeah, but 45% of it is technology." Because most people who go touring don't have to record it and take a laptop and edit in the evenings, and then you need hard drives and dongles and all this sort of stuff. So I think this year I'm looking. Really want to do some good tour videos this year, and I want a little really small compact package of drone, helmet camera, handlebar camera, easy to edit, bang, and get that done. Because technology is evolving all the time.
Yeah,
Because I've been wondering if I can just use a 360 camera, because if you've got a 360, you can obviously point it wherever you want.
Yeah, but the picture quality's still not there. It's still
not quite,
there.
is it? And,
No.
and there's something about the action camera attached to your helmet, which is POV stuff, which is good.
Yeah, definitely.
It just feels better. So
I agree with the DJI. I mean, I've been using Insta360s for a while now. I've used the Ace 1s and the Ace 2. Been using the Ace 2 for about the last year and a half or so, and I preferred the Ace 2. But then I bought the Action 5. I had the Action 4, and then I bought the Action 5. I think I'm starting to maybe favour the Action 5 now. And if I didn't record the comms chat like I do when I'm away, if it was just me and my mic, then I would be DJI all the time, because that wireless mic is just fantastic. And
it's
with
amazing,
the 6 now, there's a bit of a delay, and you can't just use it on what you call it, quick shot style. With the Action 5, you still can't use the mic with quick shot because the mic won't connect. You have to turn the camera on, connect the mic, and then just leave it on, and then stop recording as you go, but leave the camera on. The Action 6, you can use the quick shot now, and it connects straight away.
We just leave the mics running because the battery consumption's so low, they'll last 48 hours anyway. So just tell it not to turn off, and just
so do you use your audio in the timeline when you're editing? Do you use the mic as like the main file and then attach all the video to that, sync it all up as you go?
Well, no, because with the Action 5, so you got that's linked to this, for example, which would be in my helmet.
Oh, so it's only recording the audio when you record.
Yeah. So and then it's just goes into
Gotcha.
So,
Gotcha.
Yeah, the joys of editing timelines.
Yes.
Anyway, next question. Let's do this.
If money was no object, where would you go for a budget bike battle, and on what?
Money no object. I would like a budget bike battle. I really fancy going to Japan on some.
Oh yeah.
Old two-strokes aren't really my thing, but there's some really cool, old, interesting, retro Japanese bikes out there. So it would be, I don't know what the actual category would be. I know Al would choose a two-stroke, but some proper old Japanese metal, and I think Japan would be amazing.
Have you been to Japan?
No, really want to go.
What a country! And if you are into like the spiritual type side, what a country! Because like for us, something that's 1,000 years old for us, we're like, wow, Christ, going back some. They've got temples that are like 3.5, 4, 5,000 years old. You're just like, what? Wow.
And it's such a small island, right? So how is all that? All this stuff blows my mind. How has all that developed in this culture, in this tiny place? Like, you take the size of the planet and this tiny little sausage of an island.
Yeah.
And you're like, what?
Yeah. It's just mind blowing, isn't it? It really. And again, there's theories around all of that as well. It wasn't just an island. There's all sorts of stuff out there, isn't there? Who knows? Right. Cheers for that one. Who's that? That was Mike. Cheers for that, Mike. And he says, see you on the Picos tour, Bruce. Yes, mate, that'll be here before we know it. April,
Picos?
we're off to Picos.
That's mountains in Portugal.
Yeah, that's what they call like a mountain range. It's called a Pico, yeah. Rob Shenery. Question, where's Boothie? Don't see him that much in 44 Teeth other than the BB battle. If you don't want to talk about this, I can cut this down.
No, it's fine. He's just embroiled in kids and stuff like that.
Life.
Babies, and he lives in Scotland. So
does he?
Yeah.
He's seen the light.
He's seen the light, yes. So it's a very boring answer, but that's the answer. We'd love to have him down here more, but he's thing is to travel down. It's like let's make the most of it. You got to come down for a week or 2 weeks, and partner's working and time off and blah blah blah. Blah. So yeah,
it's the practicalities of it all, isn't it?
Unfortunately, it is a boring practical answer. Yeah,
gotcha. Tim Masters, appreciate you may not want to share too many details, but how did you fall in love with Vines and out of love with Barnstormer? Again, don't need to answer this if you don't want
to. I will just say there's a reason I travel a 50-mile round trip to Vines and not the other one.
Gotcha. I'm kind of in the same boat because I'm like 80 mile for where I go. So yeah, service is good. Customer service is good customer service. And when you find it, you're prepared to go the distance.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, look, things change over the years. I did a lot with the other one, and yeah, it's sad. Actually, it's very sad. But there we go. Things change, people change, and embrace the change. And I'm, much happier where I am.
Fair enough. Enough said. Joe Gasparini. This is my first Bru Time question, but I'm an avid listener and long-term patron. Thank you very much, Joe. Can I first thank you both for helping me deal with my own mental health issues? 2 questions for you both. 1, do you find it more beneficial for your own mental health to ride in groups or solo, and why?
I'm not really a group rider. I'll start. I find it, I don't know, maybe two people, cool, love it. Chats with your mates, maybe 3, but anything more than 3, I start getting a bit overwhelmed. So, yeah. But I wouldn't do that unless, I suppose you do it for your mental health because you're having fun with your friends. But I think, there's certainly, and I'm sure you felt this on your round the world tour, like when you're on your own, there's a challenge to be met and you're constantly punching at the outside of your comfort zone, like forever. Yeah. That's what you're doing every day. And then you're like, I don't like this place. Right, I'm going to go to the next place. And you're just sort of in this constant, not survival state, but you're kind of, just doing it. And then there's a great sense of reward at the end of a challenging thing. So I would say not even to work stuff out, but I think it's good for your mental health to put yourself in situations that you're uncomfortable with, to train yourself on how to deal with them. Mm-hmm. And I think the less you practice something, the worse you're going to be at it. So if you struggle with things, put yourself in situations where you're going to struggle, because the more you put yourself there, the more you're going to figure out how you best deal with it, is what I'm saying.
I totally agree. I think I would prefer to do solo travel. I really do enjoy solo travel. All the reasons that you just said. Now, just the freedom, just the total freedom of being away on a motorcycle somewhere new by yourself. You can ride for as long as you want. You can ride as fast or as slow as you want. You can stop when you want. If you want to spend another day somewhere, you can do that. Day off
when you want, yeah.
If you've had enough and you want to go home, you can just turn around and start heading home. Or, if you want to change the direction of where you're going, you can do that. And I love that. Conversely, I love group riding in the tours where I'm taking people away to new places and they're experiencing new places, which they wouldn't have if they hadn't come away in that group ride. Or this is their first ever trip anywhere on a motorcycle other than their local calf or whatever. Everyone has their normal runs that they do. Some people do that for decades and that's all they do, and they either do it by themselves or with their own little group of mates. For whatever reason, I have predominantly lads, they choose to come away on a tour and they'll go to, they'll go across into Europe, entirely different country they've never been to before, and they're riding roads they've never ridden before with people they've never ridden with before. And you see that impact it has on them. It like opens their brain. It just fries people's brains. Like, holy shit, this is available here. Yeah. And I love seeing that. I love being part of that new experience for people. Brilliant. But I don't really do the solo stuff anymore, and I do miss that. And I think, for me personally, I think my solo content's probably hits differently and better with the viewer. So I think they can, engage with it more. I think they feel like it's something just between you and them.
Yeah.
Whereas when it's a group thing, I've had that commented quite a lot from people. They're just like, if it's a group thing and you've got people chatting on the comms, they feel like they're just a voyeur in what's going on. They're not riding it and experiencing it with you when it's just like you and the viewer.
Yeah.
So I'm aware of that difference for the viewer experience. But solo for me, I think solo for me is much better mental health wise. It's a bit of me time.
Yeah, but you will, and you'll appreciate this. You will, when you're solo traveling, you will experience low points. That is the point of doing it. Mm-hmm. I would say.
Yeah, definitely. It's the extremes. It's the extremes, isn't it? When you solo travel, like the lows can be really low, and they can they can amplify. You know, if you get yourself in a negative frame of mind. Mm-hmm. It's kind of only you that's going to get you out of that, and I think you have to recognize that. Well, for me personally, I think mental health is an entirely individual thing, isn't it? Everyone's different. For me, I find that if I'm in a bad mood or a down mood, I'm the one that has to make that difference. I have to do something that gets me out of that, whatever that is. I still don't really know. It just happens eventually, but I'm the one that has to make that decision to stop it. Or maybe it's not that easy. It's not that easy, is it? But I'm conscious it's me that I fix it. So
but it's your lesson to learn. That's how I see it. Here's the thing you keep struggling with. We're going to deliver it to you again and again and again until you figure out how to solve it.
Mm-hmm. Or you do what I did for a long time. Chuck it to the back. We'll deal with that another time.
And people can have decent lives like that. That's whatever.
But it does come to the fore. You know, I've since leaving the old bill, stuff that never bothered me at all. It rears at some point. Shit will rear its head, and you have to deal with it. However you deal with it. You know, like I think these days there's no shame in going to get a bit of help if you need it. You know, I've not as yet, but things like dealing with my mum passed away, I never ever dealt with that, and it ate at me. It just ate at me. I couldn't talk about mum without the eyes going and the throat going, and although it's kind of doing it at the moment, but I've not got that grief that was just there. And I had these two lads on the podcast, two chaps from a channel called Riding Through Grief. Sadly, those two lads lost their wives to cancer, and they sort of found each other through that grief. You know, they were just two lads that started channels just to talk about what they were going through, because they thought, well, Christ, there must be other lads out there that are going through this. And they started this thing, and I had them on the podcast, and we just talked about stuff, and you know, the tears flew and they flowed, but it was like this massive weight, a huge weight off the shoulders, you know, and like I can talk about that sort of stuff before, whereas I just couldn't previously.
And that's really important. Like that point. Whatever, I don't. People say, "Oh, you've done a lot for mental health," which is great, and I'm hugely grateful that if I've helped anyone, then that's fantastic. But I never set out to do that as a goal, saying I know how to behave or conduct your life. All I've ever done is said, "Hey, I feel like this sometimes," with the only aim of letting someone else know that it's like everyone feels like that. Don't worry about it. Like, just don't worry about it. Do you feel a bit shit? Yeah, I feel a bit shit. But we love motorbikes, so let's go and have some fun. Like, that's often all that needs to be said. You know?
It's to know someone else is going through this, and it's not, you're not a freak.
You've got permission to be able to talk about it if you want. Yeah.
Absolutely. Permission to talk. Plug.
Yeah,
that was a fantastic thing. The amount I got, I bought one of those stickers, put it on my lid, and the amount of geezers that came away on tours or just bike events, and they'd see the sticker and they'd come up. Mate, it worked wonders. Absolutely worked wonders.
Yeah, I've got bigger plans for that coming, but I just need to to try and get on with it.
It's another thing, isn't it?
It's another thing, but it's really important to me. So it genuinely is really important to me. So
yeah. Right, Joe's got another question. Would you rather only ever ride motorbikes again for the rest of your life, but with no more hanky-panky sexy time, or the other way around? So you're riding motorbikes, but with no hanky-panky, or is it hanky-panky and no riding motorbikes? Well, Joe, I'll answer this. I'm married, so it's just really riding motorbikes.
I would, not because I'm perverted, but I would choose the intimacy. I would choose the intimacy because I think it's as much as I love motorcycles, I also really, I think that to be intimate, and I know it's a jokey question, but to be intimate and in love with someone is so special, and that human thing. So yeah, that's what I would choose.
You got all sensible, deep, and meaningful on us there.
Sorry, wank on a tip.
Yeah. What did you say? Wank on our chips? Is that what you said?
On the chips, yeah. In fact, with the I know. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. I was going to talk about masturbation.
No, go on.
Well, in that game scenario of that, are you allowed to ride motorbikes and still wank?
It's one and the same thing, isn't it?
Because if you've got to give up wanking and motorbike, then forget it.
Oh, Jesus. Wow.
Anyway, next question. Very good.
No, that's a talking point. Save that one for down the pub, folks.
Yeah.
Or Sunday dinner, round the table with the family.
Absolutely, yeah.
Conversation starter. Sam Meadows, what a great start to the return of the podcast. Thank you, Sam. As others have more than likely asked mental health questions, I'd like to ask, where would Chris see himself without motorbikes in his life? Have they been a literal life saver? Massive thanks to both of you for being so open and honest about life and the struggles we all deal with at one level or another.
Good question. I'd probably be wealthy, happy, loads of nice cars. I don't know, and I think it's impossible. And it's a question, a sort of theoretical question, but I think it's also impossible to make those. I don't know what would have happened. I sometimes, if I think there is a plan in life for anything, which I do believe there are, things gifts are given to each of us to be able to get you to do whatever that you need to do in your life. And I think just the way my life worked with the sort of creative graphics background that I've had, all of it sort of culminated potentially, you could look at this potentially as a journey and a path to reach a load of people, like blokes on bikes who feel the same as me, to reach those people and be able to help them. Like I could map my journey and go, why didn't I study design? Or editing or post-production, or how do I even have this accent, which is easy for lots of people to understand? Simple things like this, to get me to the point to spread a message, to be able to communicate ideas to people which may help them. I think that gives me more joy than riding motorbikes for myself sometimes. So I think, the question itself was somewhat of a, lowbrow question, but I think I would have got to this place anyway, because the important bit would have been the communication rather than the motorbikes.
It's that old saying, isn't it? What's meant for you won't go by you. It's like,
yeah.
What your path is your path, isn't it? I do kind of believe that, but I don't think your path's set in stone.
No.
I think there's lots of opportunities will be presented to you in life. Might not feel like opportunities at the time, and it's up to you and how you deal with them at that time it just determines what path your life takes, doesn't it? And just because you're going down that way doesn't mean to say that you can't turn left, you can't turn right, you can't
turn around and go back. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I see it as, and I've contemplated writing a little book about this at some point in my life, but it feels to me it's like it's a video game, right? And you can choose to play it on easy, medium, or hard, right? And I think before you come into this life, you get given that choice. You choose the things you need to learn. You choose what level you're going to play on, and you see people in life who and hang on, let me just rewind a second. If like a magical wizard came to me and said, right, Chris, you can have a life where it's an all right life, like it's decent, you'll get by, it'll be okay, you'll be all right, everything will be fine, but you're not going to be particularly special and you're not really going to achieve anything. Or you can have a life which is going to be really difficult at times, you're going to really suffer, you're going to have some pain, it's going to be tough, but you've got a chance of being spectacular. I know I would choose the one with a chance of being spectacular. So that to me is you choose to play it on easy or you choose to play it on hard. And so when I'm having a shit time, it's like, well, I kind of, it helps me go, well, actually, I probably would have chosen this one anyway, this version of me, because it's the hard one. And I want to play a video game on hard and feel the satisfaction of completing that level. So, so when you bring it back to the video game thing, you go through these challenges in life and you will have big things like a divorce or a death or whatever's happening in your life. These end of game, end of level baddies that you need to keep practicing and keep figuring out how to beat. And then you'll beat them. And then you have a big life. Then you go on to the next level. And then you'll, go through the normal bit. And then you'll get to another bit. And then you then have another difficult challenge in life that you need to get through and beat and work it out. And however high the levels go, it could be an infinite number, I don't know, but you'll just get to that level and that's your level you got to. The next time round in life, you'll start at that level and then you'll go up if you manage to make it. But if you don't manage to complete a level in your life, that's also okay. There's no time limit. It's like an infinite, I feel it's a potentially cyclical system if you're into the matrix type argument, matrix type theory of life. So it's just like a video game that you just play, you learn, because you're not going to, I can't remember this quote I wrote, but it was fantastic. I'm too drunk now, but it was really good. It was basically about learning, like you have to, in order to win, you've got to learn how to lose first, right? Because like, let's say you're playing someone who's really good at tennis, you've got to lose hundreds of times to be able to figure out how to beat that person. So you'll only beat that person by learning how to lose well. You can't go, I lost, and just throw your toys out the pram and not go again.
Yeah. No, that's how I really do like that sort of Zen attitude to things. I really do like that. It must be strikes me as being very liberating. Like almost like the pressure's off.
It absolutely is, but just because I say these things, it doesn't mean I still don't get caught up every day with the human brain going, you're such a dick. Why did you say that? Oh, God, and criticize your self-critical. But you got to give yourself a break. It's a lot easier to say this to someone else than it is to myself.
Oh,
but, yeah. I'm getting there.
I found I'm not quick. I can easily give my friends advice when they ask it, and it makes real sense. But I probably don't take that on board myself. You know, I do find myself sometimes going, "You twat, that's what you need to do," and it's hard. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard to do that.
Yeah.
Right, next one. Morris Haggerty. Hi, folks. Happy New Year to you both. Happy New Year, Morris. Love the budget bike battles, but have you ever considered formatting it so you don't ride the bike that you bought and prepared? I.e., Chris buys and prepares a bike for Al for Boothie, and Boothie for Chris. And Bruce, can we have Mossy double enders in 26? Just wind them up and let them go. Yeah, that's a different format for... In fact, did you not do that? Have you not done one of them?
We've thought about it. And it may happen, but it hasn't, the time hasn't been right just because it hasn't, not because of a particular reason, but I think when the format starts getting tired, then I think it's time, okay, now we're going to introduce, which arguably, everything needs a change and an update now and again. But, I think the next important thing, and we've said this publicly recently, so I'm not giving anything away, but the next one we're going to try, like almost the last one almost broke us. Like we did not organize it well enough and we released it too soon. Then we had some issues. We didn't plan very well going to Morocco. We had some legal things, and it just, talk about pressure cooker of like content build up. And then, you're trying to sell a cinema tour off the back of a product which you haven't built yet. And it was really difficult. And then we had some really difficult problems with the certification with the British film people. And honestly, 2 days before the first event in Birmingham, I was seriously thinking we were going to have to cancel the entire thing and refund.
Really?
Refund everyone. And it's pressure like that was bad. So to combat that, and I think this will be a better viewer experience as well, is we're going to actually do everything as a flyaway. So we're going to go away in secret, shoot everything, do everything, get it all in the can, figure out what we've got and what that story is as we go, without it already being in the public sphere where it's like, oh, when's the next video? Oh, what's happening here? Because you've announced the bite.
Take the pressure off.
Take the pressure off, but also here's the event. You'll know as well as I do. Once the sort of hysteria of launch has subsided, it's like, are they still doing that? Are they? Yeah. And it's kind of we want to ride that month wave of high intensity to go and just smash it, rather than dribble it out for it was almost about 10 months, I think, from announcement to maybe even more, actually. Yeah. Announcement to live this year. So, but yeah, interesting about the debate thing, buying each other's bikes. But I think it would just cause so many problems. We wouldn't even get out of the bloody driveway. It would be, we'd buy each other such shit bikes. It would be like,
trying to do everyone's legs.
It would just be awful.
Make great viewing though.
Yeah. We could do a really mini one, because it'll probably only have one episode, because it will all be over within about 10 minutes. But yeah,
that cinema format, utter genius, mate. I went, obviously saw you guys at the in the first one that you did. Where did I go? Guildford, I think it was. I think I went.
Yeah.
But it was brilliant, mate. Honestly, it was so new. No one'd ever done anything like that. It's awesome. Yeah. Awesome. But other people starting to do it now. Fortnine's just done their thing, haven't they? They're race across the world.
Hey, look, we're pioneers,
Absolutely. Brilliant. That's when you're onto something. Other people start copying, for sure.
Yeah. Good. And I hope more people do it, because it's a way of, people engaging with the people they really like. And right back at the beginning of this conversation, we had a chat about people making, content without the community, that emotive connection that you've got with some of your dedicated fans. Being able to do live events with people is an opportunity to connect with those people. There's a lot of content creators, particularly like, I guess, Instagram people or whatever, who, sure, they get millions of viewers, but nobody's going to get off their arse on a January night and drive to Guildford and see them perform. Yeah, because they put a cat video up. It's just not that type of thing. So yeah, I'd love more and more people to do that. I think it'd be brilliant. Yeah, because modern cinema's shit as well, isn't it? Let's face it.
It kind of is so at the moment, though. Yeah, it kind of is at the moment. It's all just like beige.
No one can tell a joke. No one can do anything. Yeah. It's like, oh, for God's sake. We sound like right misery guys. Right.
But again, I mean, just look at the comments that we've got on here. Everybody feels the same way, don't they?
That's true.
Everyone is feeling the same at the moment. Right, there's only a few more to go, mate, on Patreon, and that'll do us. Next one, Richard Priestley. Nice one. Like many, I followed Chris from his Baron Von Grumble days and subscribed to 44 Teeth, a great channel, almost as good as TeapotOne. Thank you very much. Cheers, Richard. I had the pleasure of dining with Chris at one of the bike shows at the NEC. Well, we sat at the same table in Subway and chatted. A genuinely nice guy. Thanks, Chris. A great advocate for mental health. Oh, sorry, this isn't a question. He's just saying, a great advocate for mental health. He keeps mine in check watching the 44 Teeth shenanigans. Cheers, Richard. Thank you. There's actually quite a lot of people making comments like that, but I was trying to skip through to get to questions.
All very much appreciated. Thank you.
There's another one, Zog D. He said, I'm joining for the month, cheap rate until finance is in control. No worries, Zog D. Thank you very much for your support. Because you got Bru Time back in style. Have a fab chat, fellas. Met the guys at Chelmsford Cinema thing last May. Thanks for the brake fluid wristband thingy. Oh, is that one of the doodads? Yeah, got you. This is a question. Andy, great to hear the pod is back, and I've watched Chris for many years. A couple of questions, if I may, for Chris. I really enjoy your solo tour vlogs. Do you have any plans for another this year? You've been open and honest about your own experience of mental health, and I wondered if you could share the journey that you've been on in the last couple of years. Well, we kind of ran through that, haven't we?
Yeah. Yes. So this year, I think it's going to be a bit different this year, but yes, there will be a lot more of that type of content. But I'm really trying to go and get some travel time with my girlfriend now, and we've got again this awesome motorhome bus thing that we bought. Put some bikes in the back. She rides bikes as well, and just try and do as much as we can from the road this year as possible. So who knows? Who knows where that's going to take us? And but yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. So there's definitely going to be a lot of that. But again, I'm trying to figure out if I can put the GS in it, because it's, what bike are you going to take? Because what bike do you take? It's like, but I want to do track days, I want to do things, I want to do, oh God. But I'd love that GS. So, So
do track days on a GS? Come on, you can do track days.
I prefer it. I'm actually really seriously thinking about buying a 1300, not non-adventure, and turning it into like a massive supermoto. I think they're fantastic, those bikes. So
I've decatted mine, and I've had it. I've just had it mapped at BHP, just a generic map, not a like a one-on-one on the rolling road thing. Fucking hell, mate, honestly, what a machine! What a machine!
It may be negated now because your exhaust's so loud, but some of the really early bikes were so loud, like ticky, cammy loud. Is yours a loud one? I got one of the first in the UK, for a customer one, and it really ticks. But I've put a DNA air filter in, and I don't know if it's just the induction is so loud it sort of quietens it down. But I don't notice that ticking as much. But it's a really rattly engine. 1300 is a rattly engine. Yeah, but it's great and interesting. I've always been a GS adventure man, but I would get the 1300 non-adventure because it's a sporty bike. It's not slow, is it?
Mate, it's fucking rapid. Yeah, rapid. It's great fun.
Sorry, go on. Yeah,
I've had some of the 1300 GSAs away on tour as well last year, and they're there. They're not slow either.
No, but they're a lot sort of softer though, aren't they? I don't know how they've changed. It's dramatically different. I find them a lot more.
I find the GS Adventure, the 1300 Adventure, rides more like the 1250 standard GS.
Yeah.
Whereas the 1300 standard GS is totally different to the 1250. Totally different. It's just that slightly. Is it higher? Yeah, slightly higher center of gravity means it doesn't just flop in, which I love. I love that about the bike on the tight hairpins and stuff. You just flop the bike in, right? It goes. But it's much more neutral, I find, in its handling, and it just holds a line beautifully. It's just it's so light to just chuck into corners. So it's an awesome machine. Awesome.
Yeah, best bike in the world.
And it is. And I even quite like the looks, I've got to say. Quite like the looks.
Yeah. It's all right. Could be prettier, but it could be a lot worse. So.
Yeah, it could be. But
yes, so on the videos, yes, I do want to do some more touring stuff. There will be some in the van, but I think I'll set off from destination wherever it is, Italian lakes, and then go off on a couple of day bike ride, do some content, back in the van, drive off somewhere else, do that. That's the plan.
Nice. And there's an appetite for that as well at the moment. Again, people have had enough. They want something
van
different.
life, like absolutely living the dream.
Yeah.
Living the dream.
Do you follow One Life Truck It?
No. What are they
Follow
called?
them. One Life Truck It. I've had them on the podcast. It's Bobby and Marie Bolton. So, long story short, Bobby, sort of our age, relationship came to an end. Funnily enough, was suffering with quite severe mental health, and just thought, fuck it, I am going to drive to Australia and start a new life. Bought himself a big man truck, converted it into an overland vehicle.
I've got a man, yeah.
There you go. and he hit the road with his red Labrador called Red. Right. I think week 1, week 2, he's in the French Alps up a mountain, and this French lassie turns up. She's out running, trail running, and she's got a white wolf Alsatian dog. They meet, get on like a house on fire. I think she was engaged to somebody, all this sort of stuff. They get on really well. They end up keeping in touch. She eventually comes and meets him further on the journey, I think in France or in another country, and they just hit it off. Amazing. She terminated her relationship, jumped on, and they carried on the journey. Fast forward a year, they're now back in the UK, having they didn't get to Australia. They had to alter the plans and end up going from South Africa right up the west and back home to the UK. They've got married. They've now bought an even bigger truck, which they're converting into like an adventure centre. They're going to hit the road, have other people come and join them. It's a fucking amazing story. And the audiobook is amazing. One Life Truck It, it's called.
I'm in it. Okay. Sounds amazing.
Really good social channel to follow. There's another one here from me, from Andy. He says, finally, one for Bruce. Now that the Fort 9 crew have done a round-the-world trip in less than 17 days, which is a little quicker than you, do you fancy a different type of trip around the world? For me, I've got to admit, yeah, I do. I've got a yearning to hit the road again, but it's not the right time at the moment. It's just not the right time just now. There's other things I've said. I keep saying this. I've said I'll cycle around the UK. I've got to do that first, but it's working out the logistics for that. So I'm under no illusion. For me to cycle around the UK, it's about 5,000-6,000 miles to go right round. That's going to take me 6 months, 5-6 months, I think, realistically. My wife's got a job. We've got commitments here. It's just all the usual sort of stuff. I'm just not in a position to go yet. But that will be my next thing, to do that. Anyway, that's me. What have we got here? Second last question. Charlie Callard. Evening, gents. Happy New Year to you both. Glad to see the pods are back, mate. Pleasure, Charlie. So a couple of questions from me. If you could change anything about your YouTube channels or YouTube itself, what would it be? And my second question, if you could only eat from one continent in the world, where would it be? Keep them shiny side up. So if you could change your channel or YouTube, what would it be?
I would remove all algorithmic control entirely and take it back to how it was 12 years ago, where the good content shone because people shared it. That's how it should work. Not because someone's paid more money for it, because it sells more products, because it generates more advertising revenue. Good quality content should always rise to the top. And I would remove all algorithmic controls entirely.
I totally agree on that. YouTube's just a different viewing experience than it used to be. Yeah, and I don't think I particularly like it. It's not as appealing to me anymore.
You don't even see the stuff you want to see. You just see other stuff, which maybe you're half interested in seeing, but you don't subscribe to the channel. I see more stuff of channels that I don't subscribe to than I actually subscribe to.
You actively have to hunt out your subscriptions now. It used to just be there, wasn't it? It was there. Cool. Yeah, he's done another video. Cool, I'll watch it. Yeah, I agree with you. Second question, if you could only eat from one continent in the world, where would it be?
It would have to be Europe, just because it's such a varied cuisine.
Yeah.
Because actually, there's a Thai restaurant round the corner.
In that case, you could just say, I'll never leave Guildford because he's got everything. Everything's there.
Yeah, exactly. With my
No, I
cat.
agree with you. Europe. I think we are so fortuitous here in I'm saying Europe. We are still part of Europe, obviously, we're on the European continent. But
Yeah.
we are so lucky here. You know, like in 20 miles across the channel, bang, you've got access to everything that Europe brings. Chris is just he's just picking up his pussy. Oh,
Hello,
oh,
Otto.
hello, Otto.
Hello,
What a
Otto.
grumpy bugger.
Hello.
Wow, what an expressive cat. He
Yeah,
really was not
the,
impressed.
No, he's like that. Yeah, the girlfriend brought him, and yeah, as in brought him with her. So
Yeah.
I've had to part with him.
I like that about cats. Like, cats are just cats, aren't they?
It's
They
like,
don't
what are
try
you
and,
doing?
yeah, they don't try and placate you. Dogs are just try and please you, which I
The
love
dog will be
dogs.
like,
But
oh my god, what's going
Yeah.
on? Oh my god, I love it. The cat's like,
cats are just like, fuck off, leave me alone. You go and lick me balls. Right, last one. Mark from Leeds. What a great guest to kick off Brew Time. Question. Could you talk more on your psychedelic therapy, as this interests me a great deal? I've listened to Sean Ryan talk about it a lot, and I'd love to get your perspective from the British European side of psychedelics. Also, can I send you a set of my top box dividers? Cheers, Mark from Leeds. He's the top box divider man. I don't know if you've seen him on the socials.
right, okay.
He
Well,
makes these things for your top box.
I think I have seen them actually. Yeah, yeah.
He'll send
I
you a
mean, the
set if you want
psychedelics thing. I guess we've done that. But you know, yeah. I think.
Do you think you'll do it again?
I have done it again.
Oh,
Since.
interesting.
Yeah, and it was a different experience, and you know, it wasn't. It wasn't as powerful. It wasn't as much. But then I wonder if I was just being a bit greedy. I think. But yeah, so the answer is I would do it again. I don't think I needed to do it again, and it was from the last experience that was this most incredible, like wow, like all of this amazing stuff in other planets and everything's like here it all is. There was a very definite you've got enough, you know enough, you've got enough for where you are. It was almost like you're not coming into the garden today, hang around, enjoy yourself, but it wasn't as a profound experience as the previous one.
You spoke about like life you get to a certain level, and then it's like once you've got to a certain level and there's nothing else that you can gain from what you've been doing, the psychedelics sort of open it up and just go, right, okay, well you've got here, have that. And then it does sound like there's going to be a period now where you're going to go through more stuff, and you might start getting to that stage, and it's like, I need more, I need an answer.
Right. I think that's exactly right. And it was almost like, look, you've got enough to be getting on with, but because it was a human, almost like an ego thing as well. Like, I want to learn more. I want to know more about this stuff, and I want to be I want to have more wisdom. I want to have more whatever. And it was almost like, no, put you in your place. Like you've just been awakened. You've got loads of stuff to discover. It was almost chill the fuck out and just enjoy where you are, and just enjoy where you are. My life's changed so amazingly, and I'm so happy. So it's like just fucking enjoy it. Enjoy the mortal world. Stop be a human for a bit. That's kind of the message I got. But it's important. I really want to make the important point that the experience that happened, it came through the medium of psychedelics, but there's millions of people have experiences like this through a car crash or some other thing in life or however it happens. I don't think the method of delivery is the important thing. And it's not like you can't get there through other means. When you're, like we said earlier, when it's meant for you, it's going to happen. Yeah, when it's meant for you, it's going to happen. And I think I was ready for it. Yeah, I was ready. So
it was an incredibly impactful video, that, mate. And as we discussed earlier, just reading the comments, geez, I mean, I think it's had a profound effect on a lot of people, and probably saved quite a few people, I think, mate. So
I
fair
hope
play
so.
to you. Fair play to you for opening up like that.
Thank you, mate.
Dude, there's loads of questions on the socials, but we've been at this over 2.5 hours. So thank you very much for your time. We'll call it quits at that. It's been an absolute pleasure to chat with you, Chris. And I'm chuffed, really chuffed to see that you're at this point in life where you're content and awaiting the next stage. Is what I was going to say.
Content enough. Yeah, we're always human, but yeah, content enough.
Cool.
Yeah. Dude, thank you for having me on, and amazing. And we should go have a proper ride soon, actually.
Oh, I'd love to do that. We haven't done that in so long, have we?
Yeah,
a long
I'd like to
time
come on
ago.
one of your tours one day as well, actually, and we could finally get our calendars to merge.
You are always welcome. I'm off to Australia next month, actually, Chris.
I'm not going that far.
I don't like you that much.
No, I might make it to Belgium or something, but yeah.
Man, let's do it. Let's do it. If there's any of the tours that are there at the moment that you fancy, let me know, and we can make it happen. Let's do it.
I love that. Cool.
Right. Nice one, dude.
Thank you, mate.
Floor's yours. Feel free to plug, promote, whatever you like.
I'll just say thank you. Just thank you to everyone who's been nice to me and listened to my shit over the years. So yeah, it means a lot. And it's great to have your questions tonight. So yeah, thanks to Bruce and this channel for hosting me. And yeah, see you all soon.
It's been our absolute pleasure, pal. Thanks for being open, honest, and being you. It's awesome.
Thank you very much.
Folks, hope you've enjoyed this one. We're back, baby. Bru Time is back. Keep doing your thing. Look after those that you love. Getting out there whenever you can. But most importantly, live your life. Woo!